All right. Let's see. Where's. I got my other phone. Y'all in there, people in there, go and hit them tabs and likes. The party started. That party started. Get the party started. Get the jugger in here. Gotta get the jugger in here. Alright. Good. Nah. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear you. All that noise, phone. I don't want to hear all that noise. I don't want to hear all that noise, phone. Alright, I got one like. Hey, we making it somewhere today. I got one like. Let's get it. All I need is one like. One like. How's that thing still making noise? All I need is one like. See, see how this go tonight. Do it myself. I don't understand. Doing a rerun today. We're doing a rerun. We're gonna run these back. I'm doing reruns this week, man. Run these things back, man, so I get a new group of people, man. A lot of these things we can expand on. Projection, back to projection again. Projection is the new facts today. Let's tell how I feel, and we're gonna say this is what everybody else feels because I feel this way. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? All right, I think we good. Go ahead and say that. Say that. I'm good on that, bro. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I thought it was frozen for a minute. Thought it was frozen for a minute. Uh, so, uh, oops. Oh, so do what I'm gonna do is get these shares off first. Uh, who that? 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 Who? 15 people right there. I guess that's enough. Something wrong with this account. That is, I'm like, I gotta be anonymous. What's the name? Anonymous. Baby, I'll tell you another time. You've been so preoccupied. Baby, no, never mind. Alright. Got all my sins out. Let me get these lights up. Get these chat active. Keep it active. It's good to have a backup. I took one step, I took two back. I'm not even close this time. All I know is that baby, very much. Alright, I think that's about that. I think the voice changer. Okay. So deal shine, I see you down there hitting them likes. Oh man. Trick yourself real quick and throw some gifts. What up? Throw it on my son. Alright, let me get this going though. Just wanted to. Alright. Come over so I can get to that For You page as quick as I can. As quick as I can. Yeah, today we on that. Got to see why everybody just wanted to be their world. I was in the live earlier and stuff. Just seeing how people just love to be stuck being victim. I need to make that a topic too. How people just stuck. They wanna basically nobody don't like change. That's the problem. That's all it is. Though. And then they be asking you silly questions like they don't know what what it means. That's gonna be so funny. I say you gotta let people just stay on their own road, man. Some people just come in here just to for the most part, to just disrupt you or sabotage what you got. Because people are literally miserable and they just they want you to feel as bad as them for the most part. What's good with it? What's the deal, Jim? How you feeling, man? Just getting it rocking. Just getting it rocking, man. That's what I love about TikTok. It records you. So, you know, record you that way I can post this on YouTube. That's why I got my YouTube for. Said one is yes, you can learn to project at the same time. That's actually that first one actually it's a funny question. It's like an oxymoron. It ain't possible. Not really possible though. But I just wanted to see what everybody think. Because if you project, you not. I mean, you basically saying you talking. You can't talk and listen at the same time. That's impossible. Projection most of the time is when you really speak it from your perspective or what happened in your life, and then you are pushing out to others to understand you. So if you're pushing out to others to understand you, there's no way you can be looking to understand while you're trying to get others to understand you. That's probably why that's kind of like that though. So yeah, that first one literally like a trick question. But I think the way they had kind of put it earlier was basically um it's like alternating it or switching going back and forth. So I can get that though. That's just like with the multitasking thing. It's like your brain only operate one way really, and it just quickly shifts left and right. You know, some stuff is like could be like autopilot. I would say like certain movements. If you walking, you go autopilot without thinking about walking. You don't have to think to walk. Um, You don't have to think to breathe. You don't have to think. So that stuff like that, that's just autopilot. You don't have to think for your heart to beat. Yeah, that would be kind of considered multitasking, but stuff that you actually have to do like driving and texting. That you're trying to text something and driving, no, you're not really doing it at the same time. You're gonna keep your eyes on one thing, so you basically shifting back and forth. So. So number two, you said is the lack of empathy really the problem? Not being able to see. Yeah. So a lot of people will feel like that you don't understand that point of view, so they feel like you lack empathy. So, and even empathy is for self. So it's just understanding your emotions and the ones around you, or how to regulate it around others people's emotions. But it's never was saying, "Hey, you are supposed to know my emotions too." That's what people be saying. You have no empathy, or you don't have no sympathy for me. You know, no, you have compassion, but it don't mean that you got to be affected the same exact way. Because some people grew out of what used to affect them the same way as you, so they just basically saying, "Hey, one day you got to get over it." That's the harsh truth. If you've been talking the same way for 15 years, even five years, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotta get over it one day if you're trying to live life. But some people be believing that tomorrow really promised to all of us. I think once people get that out their mind that tomorrow not promised to us and all these plans that we make is just it's not always like that. I think people start taking life more precious, be more forgiving, less stress. Who want to live every day or fall asleep with stress or. And I can understand it depend on the conditions the your conditions in life or the way you living and stuff. But if you got a roof over your head and you able to eat, you shouldn't even be really. Now I can understand stressing from that angle though, but hey, like I tell people, we gotta live day by day, man. We stressed about the future, man. We stress over the past and the future, low key. That's just what that is, low. So yeah, for the most part on that one, that's why I say just live by the day, for real. Sure. You
What's
know
good with you,
what
bro?
is? You said what?
What's good with you, bro?
Nothing much. How you feeling?
Tired.
It's a tired. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got another
Monday,
long
man.
day tomorrow.
You working stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the job from this morning till this evening, and I was in the garden after I got home from that.
Mm.
I'm just really plopping down on the couch for a little minute.
Oh, you already know that. So you body slam yourself on the bed like it's time. Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be over with when I touch the pillow.
Right. Be a whole nother day by the time you get back up and
Damn, but
that
see
alarm clock.
that second one threw me though, cause I don't I don't know, like, cause I can see other people's point of view and still not fuck with what they saying. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So like, I don't know that empathy. I think it's just people. Like, I think it's people feeling like they your parents and it's my way or the highway, and then you take the highway and it's a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Most of the time, people be eating their own decisions in life and get mad at everybody else for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when they try to get the help, or somebody try to help them, because I believe every human got like some type of care bone in their body with certain situations, though. Just depend on, but it's just like it got to be the care in certain form. There got to be some type of
Right.
form for everybody to resonate or want. People want that. I
Yeah, I
guess the
did
way,
that.
yeah, for the most part on that one. I got me a
Yeah, that
couple little
second one.
things. Hmm.
Like I was, man. I read that second one about 10 times, man. It threw me for a second.
Hmm. So I asked that last part. How do you know when a person see your point of view?
Um, it's kind, it like my version of it put me in the mindset of some shit that I got from damn counseling. Like
Hmm.
when somebody asks you, like if I ask the counselor a question, like they repeat the question back before they start answering. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If I heard you right, what you're asking me is blank. So like even if a person don't go or don't agree with with my point of view or my perspective, like I for me it's still big to be understood, because like you ain't got to agree with me to understand what I'm talking about, or to be there with me in what I'm saying. So like it's kind of like for me in my head, the way my head is wrapping around it right now, it's kind of like that. Like you don't necessarily have to agree, but I need you to at least be able to kick back to me what I gave to you, even if it's from your own interpretation. Like if 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 I'm talking about how they genetically modify halo oranges so that they peel easy, and you talking about the damn green paint on the wall, like I don't think you paying no attention. You know what I'm saying? You definitely don't get my point of view, because we on two different things. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
like if you can at least relate it to, like if you want to jump on the pink oranges, the Cara pink oranges, or you want to hop on, how they got three different color grapefruits. You know what I'm saying? Like we still in the citrus family, and we talking about genetic modification. So like I can I can see that you might not have paid attention to the totality of what I said, but you was there for a good percentage of it because we still talking
Mm-hmm.
about citrus fruits and we talking about genetic modification, and I'm with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. So I think what it is for the most part, a lot of people, they might tie their feelings to it, so they feel like you don't understand. You don't understand them because you don't express that you feel the exact same way as them. But you don't have to feel a certain way like they want you to understand you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's I think a lot of people do that. Oh dang, I do feel it. You mad because I'm mad, so I get it. You give me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the way they express it and stuff. But no, everybody don't have to keep on expressing it the same way. Some people find a way to get over it, but just because it seemed, or I guess they use that word nowadays, you're kind of sending or all this other stuff. Like, no, it's just I'm no longer let it bother me no more. And I used to understand, well, I do understand what you're going through, but I refuse to feel the same way as you because I'm not about to put that toll on myself. Um, I just want to let you know that there's another way around of going around it. So some stuff you can't. I think for the most part, people get mad when you try to give them a solution to something or try to get them to find a way to recover from it. But some people just want to sit in how they feel for the most part. That's why they be like, "Nah, you don't understand me." I'm like, "No, I didn't understood you. I used to be that person." I
Right,
understand.
right. Yeah, cause like I agree with that for sure. Cause damn, like I done did some dumb shit, on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and but I learned from that dumb shit. And just cause you want to do that dumb shit, and I understand where you're coming from, and I might even understand why you're doing that dumb shit. Don't mean
Mm-hmm.
that I want to dive back in them feelings, in them emotions, in that the feel of that moment, that vibe. I don't want to be there no more. So like while I get it, I'm just not trying to participate, and you just either you accept it or you don't. But that's just what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to. I feel like I did something about that too. You don't mean you have to necessarily agree, even though you understand it. I mean, you have to agree with it or support it. I think people just got that all tied in. But that's that what you were just saying earlier is my way or the highway type situation. So if you're not going the way they want to, they like, hey, whatever. You don't feel me. You're not me. You're not one of me. You're a op. You know what I'm saying? Some people just turn out ops for not being on the same or for not agreeing with them. It's like it is what it is. So I
Yeah,
got the
that's
way how I
crazy
believe.
too. That's crazy.
Exactly what it is. Turn into a op real quick off a disagreement. Hold up, how you don't feel? What you mean by that? Some people will be quick to try to demonize you too. You turn into a demon. What do you mean by that? So, like I said, some people it get to a point. It depends on the topic, and I know there's a lot of people, or they listen to get triggered. That's what they do for the most part. They just, what you, I mean, and when it hits you with that, what you mean? That's how you already know what it is. They trying to wait to. Oh, did y'all hear that, guys? He's like that. He's stupid. Just going crazy over
Man,
like,
I
bro,
can't, and
misery.
I can't even. Right, I can't even like. I be trying, man, and like in my early part of TikTok when I was trying to get to that 1,000 to get up in the boxes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I was seeing some dope ass conversations that I wanted to participate in outside of typing my life away. You know what I'm saying? And then like I was just adding, going to them ad parties or ad follow trains or whatever they was calling them.
Yeah.
And man, I got so many people on my joint I don't even like.
Mm-hmm. I
And
literally.
I didn't even realize I didn't like them until damn I started popping into their lives because I didn't used to go in people's lives a whole lot. It was just certain people because I like what they was talking about and shit. And then like when I damn started branching out, and oh, oh, I remember this person, you know what I'm saying? And then follow, and then go in their live, and they just be like, when I sat back and listened, I was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers crazy as hell.
Hmm.
The fuck going on? But they were so serious, like they meant it. You know what I'm saying? All the little crazy shit they talking, they mean that shit. And like, I don't,
Yeah,
man,
they stand on
like,
some man. I feel you on
whew,
that. Had to clear
it's
that out
wild.
quick too. I did that. I was just doing some clearing myself yesterday. I've been following some people. I was following some people that already don't follow me because of maybe a disagreement. Like I said, everybody, people is not as confident as they say they is. They really don't stand on what they think they stand on until they get challenged. And I love
Yeah,
challenges, man. I love challenging myself. I love, and I challenge others, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to know if we really standing on what we really believe in, and then I actually learn from it, Even when I get challenged on different things, I learn from it so I can to better myself, to think better, look at things from a better perspective, and be better. That's just what it is. If I'm trying to be better,
right,
I got to be better in all the ways, not just half stepping. Not be better for the way I wanted to, just be better even if it make me uncomfortable. So I can be
right.
comfortable with that. You feel me? Beautiful. What's the deal?
Yeah, it'd be
Welcome.
hard
Hope you're having a
sometimes
good
too.
day, though. What you say?
I said it'd be hard sometimes too. What you was just saying,
Oh yeah.
being like uh just being better, even
Hmm.
when it don't agree with your sensibilities, or like you don't necessarily enjoy it.
Hmm.
Like that should be hard sometimes.
Yeah. It ain't easy though. I think it get easier though. I would say that.
Oh,
When you get the
you know
hardest part
what?
out the way.
Yeah, you know what though? Like I seen this video, and it was about basically about what we talking about right now. Like
Hmm.
the more, and what they were saying, it was like they did a study or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I feel like they say they did a study, or they and they went around and they talked to people, and they asked them, they started off with, what do you like to do? And then, like, towards the last 25% of the questions, it was something like, like, what are some things that you absolutely don't like to do? And then it was like, how often do you do those things? And and they went through the last 25, like if it was 100 questions, the last 25 was about stuff that they don't like, and how often they participate in doing things that they don't like to do, just because it's good for them, or whatever the reason. Like, how often do you just go out and do shit that you don't like, or shit that's not fun per se?
Yeah.
And what they found in that study is the people that do better are the people, or the people, was it better, or is it people that handle tough situations? It was something, but the people who did stuff that they didn't necessarily like to do, but did it anyway, for whatever the reason, be it because it was good for them, because it needed to be done, or whatever the reason. Like, it said something like they were more disciplined, they had higher positions, they were better respected by the people around them. Like, it listed this whole list of dope ass shit, and it all stemmed from, like, consistently, like, you don't like to run, but your cardiovascular is bad, and you need to get your health right in that arena. So you go, and even if it's 15 minutes a day, you go and you jog, or you go and you walk, or you do high them hit workouts to get your heart rate up and shit like that. And I was kind of blown away, because when like, I never really thought about it, but like when I did, like, look at people that don't do, they're like, yeah, um I don't eat vegetables. Like people, they the worst people to be around.
Mm,
Cause I know some personally, and the ones that don't, go against the grain and do the stuff that they don't like to do, they're just fair weather. Like they are some of the worst people to be around.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know that's anecdotal or whatever, but yeah, that was a wild study for me.
Yeah. If that stuff be, yeah, just depend for real on that situation. Man. Niggas
Hey, yo,
dedicated
you
and
just
married
got
something.
on?
Yeah. Yep. Well, let me see
Oh,
how
okay.
long. See how long. 31 minutes, I guess. Huh? 31 minutes.
It always take this long for the people to get in here.
Yeah, it depends on the days. It just depends. Some people, or some of my main people be in other lives. There's some days, TikTok might decide to push it near the beginning, or it might be near the end, or in the middle. So yeah, it just depends. So it switches up sometimes. And it
Oh,
depends on
okay.
the timing that I start up. So yeah, I just never could catch the right angles for real. Sometimes I wait till I'm real sleepy and then it be like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just trying to be doing what it wants. But I think the thing I like about this is that even if it was like nobody in the room, if I when I talk, right, it's not really like a waste of a voice, or some people might watch on the outside, but also it let me record. It records, so I can, no different from when I be doing posts and stuff. Like it just recording, so basically I can repost it back on my YouTube, and it's gonna have my video. So I'm like, well, I ain't talking to nobody. Somebody gonna hit.
True that.
Yeah, so that's what gave me more of a push on this thing. That's why consistency is good, because you're gonna have good days, bad days, average days. Some days you can't handle. It just be like that. Hey, but one thing I learned is patience, man. That's what everything. Literally everything in life, man. I noticed that everything just don't work the way you want it to all the time, as much as you ask for it.
That's facts.
So
How's it going, my brothers?
what's the deal, Ruben? How you feeling,
What's
man?
good with you?
I'm good. Ashe, namaste. Peace be with you guys. I saw laugh or learn. I love that. That caught my attention right away. I had to come in, and then I started reading your topics, and I love it. I love that you did that, and that's me. You are me, and I am you. I found myself there. Laugh or learn, and that's how I take it. I reinterpret everything by laughing. I reinterpret my reality with laughing.
Yeah.
And people take that to offense, but it's a trigger now. It's my new high self trigger.
Oh, I feel
Monitor
you on that. I say
self.
that too. I exchange my the stuff you should be depressed about or something. Not even like that, but I mean like instead of just snapping on somebody, I rather laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, that used to make
Exactly.
me mad.
Exactly, because they don't forgive them for they do not know. So I turn the other cheek,
Yeah,
because I was them 11 years ago. I was them,
yeah.
and them is me. I am you, or you are me. And so the whole secret is the salvation is forgiveness,
Oh, most definitely. I talk about. I
right?
mean, that's my
Right?
main thing. I'm big on that.
Because God created God or source to anybody's overstanding or understanding.
Exactly. I feel you on
Uh,
that.
God is cause, and I am the effect. God is inside of me.
Hmm.
So the whole thing about the will, something I really truly realized is that me and my knowledge, I have no free will. Anyway, if there was free will, it would lead to freedom, and there's no freedom around here. So when you split the mind of the mass or the collective and hide the intuition and 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 like scramble the imagination of oneself, then how can they say that we have free, or the program has say that we have free will? But anyway, I don't believe in free will, because if God is will and God is thought, and thought is infinite. So the thoughts that I've ever had that's been empathetic and servicing, loving someone else has always been God since I was born. To know that God is inside of me, and my creations are my thoughts to manifest. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey yo, hey yo. Why
Absolutely.
y'all said something that caught my ear. Like y'all was talking about forgiveness,
Yes.
and like I don't think I know how to do it right. Maybe. Um.
Mm.
Can y'all run me through a crash course real quick?
Oh, I love talking about that. I would say first with the first thing, right? And that actually it come first. You got to understand yourself first, right? You got to and I'm
Okay.
big on understanding. I think understanding is the key of life. So first you have to understand that you're a human. You understand your emotions. That even come with emotional intelligence and all that stuff. And then also you have to understand that everybody else is not going to move the same way as you. Everybody's not going to understand the same way as you, and everybody's not going to make the same type of choices in life. So what I do is how I learn how to forgive, because I realize all of us as humans, a lot of us is hurt, and we're gonna do some silly things to defend our own selves or whatever. Or some of us just make decisions in our life and that you know, and that we kind of regret sometimes or whatever. But I have realized, like I said, all of us, I have to realize first we are all human. So the thing is, I look at things just not from only my perspective sometimes, and I would say this even work in a relationship because forgiveness is gonna be big. I mean, you're gonna need that in a relationship too. That you got to realize that some people are more hurt than you. You're not always the most hurting. You living today, right? Some people is going through all type of things. Some people might have lost their mother or whatever, whatever it is. So what I do is just try to look at. It's about changing your point of view on things. So instead of just looking at it like, dang, these people did me because of this way, or my cousin effed me over and stuff. No, that overall, I mean, we can look at it that way, but I would say that you just learned that you can't trust everybody, right? Even if it's a cousin, and also your cousin might not. It just don't. It obviously don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? And he just that's how his lifestyle look is. He might have grew up with whatever whatever the situation. So what I do is just look at other things from outside my own view and just change my point, basically my perspective, basically on that, and be like, you know what? I'm gonna let it go. And because the other thing is like we're true forgiveness, you're not looking for no sorry. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that. And it's for yourself. It's really just for yourself. For you to feel relief. For you to look for clarification within yourself, because everybody's not gonna even give it to you the way you want it to sometimes. They're not gonna be like, well, I did this to you or because of that, or I called you a B because of that. Like it just, it ain't gonna work like that. So I just look at it like, shoot, when I became a better person, which came with understanding myself. Because like I said, you got to understand yourself. You got to start building love for yourself. You got to learn how to validate different things with yourself, build up your confidence. And when I realized and I became a bigger person, I realized that everybody it's gonna take them time to do it, or it might not be their time. So it's like why stoop down to some people's level because of how they is. You know what I'm saying to do the and do what they did to me because it's obvious that a lot of people just hurt or they move off hurt or really just move off of silly decisions. So I don't know. That's how I kind of learned how to forgive in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it just got to. It got to start off with understanding yourself first, though.
I agree. I agree with that. And if I can interject for a second, um, and thank you so much for bringing me up. I appreciate that. My brother, I went down and did some really digging because I was a skeptical. 11 years ago, I woke up and it was because I found out where I truly live, and it's not on a spinning ball. That's for sure. Because when you sync your imagination to real-time occurrence to a human being, that's when your intuition gets stronger. But what I did is I dove so deep and researched everything, and this is what helped me. Okay, I went so deep, started to studying my own behavior, right? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Wait a second, there's something inside of me that doesn't belong. So the school, the systems, level confusion. The day that they put a teacher on a student is the root of all evil. That is the authority problem of the Western world. And that is what usurps the power of God. So, and also the level computing, the SAT, the time test, the filling of the little bubbles really screws us up. So at 7 years old, watch this. At 7 years old, I get to the negative before I get to the love part. So at 7 years old, right, when they held me back in the second grade, and it happened, I was Adam at that time. You know, when Adam bit the apple and he got hit with shameful based thinking and from invisible the sky. So at 7 years old, I gained PTSD for being a failure. So I was level confused. So now I had self-centered fear, low self-esteem, sheep-like characteristics and behaviors, and I was tarnished for life. So when I said that, I started with the resentment towards the system. But you don't have to do that. You can skip that part. So the resentment towards the system was still keeping me from my inheritance. So I had no love because I had so wasted all my life because I got doctrinized. So I forgave them because that was holding me. So it's not our fault. So now that I know that every single spirit that's walking in these avatars thinking that their bodies have body thoughts to their mind because of the programming, I forgive them, for I was them. And all my smoke cleared all the mirrors, and I saw myself in all the freaking mirrors, because when I can't forgive them, then I am taking their God away. Jesus can't get into heaven alone. Who the hell is he going to tell his miracles to if he hadn't his disciples? So I'm your disciple, I'm your Christ. You are my disciple, I am your Christ. You know, vice versa. You are me. You can't get into the kingdom of heaven alone. We are the kingdom of heaven. And it's the mind thought that has to change and reinterpret your reality. Because everything is fake. Because if the program sold us and instilled the program with all the perspectives, all the imagination, all the supplemental realities, Netflix, Hulu, everything else that are creating the masses reality, because the subconscious doesn't know what time it is, what year it is, it doesn't know etymology. So one important thing that we all need to be aware of is the human communicates with two languages at the same time, simultaneously, and one gets in the way. One stumps the real one, and it's the one I'm talking now in etymology and all the spelling words. So that gets in the way of the true universal language, which is spirituality. Because that's all I got. That I don't want to go too far, but it's not your fault, brother. It was instilled in you. So every time you backwards think, oh, it's not me, and you're free. And then you fill yourself with love.
Especially if it's things you can't control in life too.
Exactly.
That's why I try not to complain either. You know what I'm saying? Because
You
it's like, man, if
can't,
I can't change it, what's the point?
right, because the subconscious is, remember, if, hey, you mother freaker, and the subconscious is a compute. Remember. So one thing that is important to me that I realize too, look how etymology works, right? If my thoughts are God are thoughts, source is thought, and thought is, I'm going to say this, you can take it as entertainment, not you guys on the panel, but, and I shouldn't say that because that's my ego saying that. You see how I just caught myself? But however, yeah. So one thought is an actual particle, literal particle, first into the existence. That means that the mind actually purges out supersonic photons. It stretch out of your consciousness into a biofield. Okay, so your thoughts
Right.
are orbiting through and through you, and that's what creates and gives the identification to the DNA. So if thoughts do this, then everybody's feeding each other's thoughts in the ether, and that's how we communicate. So when no one knows this, then something else is coming out, and it's the little white rabbits. So if your body, your avatar, is creating a tunnel like a donut, right? And you're supposed to be having God thoughts run through them because your imagination is supposed to be on, because God is the imagination of oneself. So if the imagination God thoughts are not traveling through your hole, your tunnel, then the other stuff is jumping out of your mind, like the little white rabbits going through the rabbit hole tunnel. And that's the red pill. You know, we are the rabbit hole. The rabbits are the fear that is coming through our minds, literally in photonical particles into this existence. That means that etymology now transfers and does that same thing. So if it's not coming from the spirit is not purging out. The etymology is because how the powerful the brain does, it takes weekdays and it shoots out the 4 meanings of week and days. So are you working in the weekdays? Yeah. Compute. The subconscious just learned all 4 meanings and purging them into your biofield. You are a computer. So any type of language communication is still purging out into your biofield. And that's what is changing us, because the concept of the shelf life of 80 or 90 years old is what we believe. Just like we believe we are supposed to be in the 9 months in the placenta. No, it's 10 to get all our full functions. So it's all trickery. And I'm sorry, I get passionate, so.
No, I'm just
I feel it.
you know what? I appreciate you saying that, because I was just thinking like, damn, I'm glad this wasn't like, a conversation or a question where he would have felt attacked, because I might be feeling some kind of way right about now.
Dude, I am
No,
a
but you
joker.
good, bro. You good.
Yeah,
You
I'm a
good.
joker. I'm a joker. But I found out about reincarnation, what the truth about that is. And we have to learn it to come back. Because if you don't learn it, when consciousness leaves the avatar, because this is it. Whatever you learn in the avatar is what you take in the spiritual orb as luggage. Because you see, reincarnation, watch this. You watch this. Look how beautiful this is. The sperm and the egg, the Higgs field cells, right? The sperm is already the brain with the vertebrae swimming towards the egg. The sperm is the electricity. Male are electricity, and the women are intuition, the spirit. We're the spirit, and the egg is the body. So watch this. You know how the Big Bang Theory, where the rock hits the earth and then the earth starts creating itself? Well, watch this. No, it's the sperm hitting the egg, because once that frequency, there's 2 frequencies, and it plants itself inside of the zygote, the chamber, the zapping chamber, right? It plants itself, and then the whole thing starts lighting up like a star ready to explode, a supernova effect. Does that sound familiar? So it starts lighting up with zinc, and then it has a pulse like the Ghostbusters trap. And that is a secret to the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary. So when they roll out the ghost trap, it captures the entity and it draws it back in. So what do you think happens with reincarnation? So the Akashic records, that's the ether, where everything was, and always will be. All the information, there's no inventions, there's no nothing, it always was. So anything that comes up in anybody's imagination invention, it always was. So the ether has orbs of concentrated consciousness of your information that you lived, so that it can spare what you learned in the avatar, so it can zap back in. So watch this. The ones that know this information are hanging around the virgins and the immaculate, or any conception that it might happen of life. So when the sperm creates that big pulse, it shoots out zinc, magnetic radioactive zinc atoms in a pulse, like the ghost trap, trapping the entities, bringing and drawing back into the zygote chamber, and bringing new spirit and information into that embryo. Now, it creates a toroidal field, and that's why there's a little swirl of hair on your head. That is your soft spot, crown chakra, where all the information is drawing in literally from the ether. That's your inertia. That is the North Pole. That is where the Holy Spirit comes in, pouring in like Coca-Cola suds. And then it dissipates and it communicates with you and the avatar. So the Holy Spirit comes in since you were born. We don't have to go chase it, or chasing somebody hung on a stick. That's outside of ourselves. So once we know all these things, so it zaps back in, and all the information is the luggage that it recorded from the avatar. It spirals in. So that's why the program tries to block that intuition, so that no one remembers what they were, because then there will be a mess. So they have to have they are us, and I forgive them. The program now. The program has to do this in masses, so it is a population control, but it's not really a population control, because once they took the spirit away, they're overpopulation, because there was a human balance in this dome. Just hypothetically, if there was a human balance of and I can stop real quick if somebody can stop me, but if there was a human balance of 1 million humans only,
Mr.
right?
Rubin.
That means that they were all one consciousness. So when you hide the spirit and split the mind and divide them with languages, now they start overpopulating and running on cellular memory. That's why we all look like our kin, because we're not running on spirit, because the spirit creates the identification. So if that's were the case, we would start looking like what we were looking like before, because it creates the structure of the
Mr.
avatar.
Rubin.
It's
Mr.
deep.
Rubin.
I can stop. I love you guys.
Hey, Mr. Rubin.
I like this guy, man. I had to
For
Hey,
real, I got another question, but I'm kind of scared now.
uh,
I'll mute my mic. I'll mute
Thank
my
you,
mic.
Ted.
Nah, I like
You
him
know,
though, man. I feel like he about to be
Yeah, me
part of
too.
one of
He
the fans. I
cool.
like him, man. What'd you say, Miley?
no, I was just asking Mr. Rubin. I was trying to figure out, what he was speaking about, what question you guys were on, or how did it get there?
uh,
I had like they had said they were talking about
Forgiveness.
forgiveness,
Uh huh.
and I think mine broke,
Uh
and
huh.
so I was asking, their like, for them to, if they could, give me their version of what forgiveness is.
I love talking about that. That's where you went right up my alley, man. Yeah.
Well, short and
What's
sweet, Gemini. Forgiveness is for yourself.
Hmm.
It's for you.
that's right. I agree.
In short, it's for yourself.
That's right.
So that you
If
can release, so that you can let go, so you don't internalize it, right? So that you can move on from it. So it's for you at the end of the day.
Okay, so like when I forgive, do I stop being mad?
Yes, you, and a lot of the times when you, because I think what happens a lot of times with people, right? Let's say you was in a bad relationship, right? And
Hmm.
oftentimes when it ends, right, people say to themselves, why did I let this happen to myself? Why did I let this person treat me like this? Why, right? And you blame yourself for those things. And so a lot of the times people always think forgiveness is extending that to other people, right? Who may have hurt you or whatever, right? But forgiveness is also for yourself. Forgive yourself that you let yourself do that, right? Forgive yourself that you made the choices that you made in your life, right? Give yourself grace so that you could say, okay, I did this, but tomorrow I'm going to do something different. So people look at forgiveness sometimes it's just, okay, I'm forgiving somebody because they did harm to me. But it's also about forgiving yourself.
that's beautiful. Thank you for
you
sharing.
want more on that? Cause I could talk about this all day. I love forgiveness. I
Well,
love
shoot.
talking about that.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I had
I,
something too,
I'm
but go ahead.
like, I'm here for all of it, because
Right.
like I
Yeah.
said,
shoot,
I
I
think
could, man. Shoot,
mine
You
is
know what?
damaged.
Real quick, I want to say
Like
what.
serious
go ahead,
damage.
Ruben.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Oh, he was got his. Go ahead,
No,
Jen.
no, I was just saying y'all can talk about y'all can go, because
I
like
yeah.
for real, mine is
Well,
damaged,
what I
and I don't think I'm doing it right.
yes, you are. Yes, you are. You always you're doing it right by being here because I am you and you are me. You're listening to yourself. Think about that. You're right now. This is your tribe. This is you. So any knowledge that you hear from you is already yours. We're just making you remember what you have inside, bro. It's your inheritance. God is inside of you. If you think that you don't have it right, you're depriving the God Himself inside of you, brother, because you are me. So if you are saying that about yourself, then you're insulting my God that's inside of you. We have the same spark. We're brothers. So if I'm here, you just see yourself in the future, in the near now, whatever you want to say. So that's how I see, and that I took the love, you see, I took the awareness of someone else that was in front of me. So, and this is what I did. I experiment with bees, okay, with honeybees, and I learned so much from them because now everyone is a bee, humble honeybee. So before I walked in the swarm of bees, okay, I thought of the taste of honey. I checked myself before I wrecked myself, right? So I love the taste of honey. So I remembered the taste of honey in my mind. And I kept on repeating in my mind, I love these bees. I love these bees. And remembering the taste of honey. And I appreciate these bees. So I'm walking in the swarm of 1,000 honeybees, right? And I'm in their buzzing. And by the way, that's a healing aura that's very powerful vibrational frequency that they give off. It heals you immediately. The dopamine in your mind goes crazy. So when I grinded my teeth together and I started resonating. They started sticking to my hands. I stopped humming and they were lifting off. So what does that mean? That I knew what I was feeling first before I knew I was going to encounter another spirit. So just the intent of you thinking that you are doing something wrong is your ego. It's playing tricks on you because you feel like your body can get attacked somehow. And it's your light inside that's even understanding what I'm saying now. It's not your body. So how can somebody get to the pickle in a dark jar in your mind? You have a pickle in black water that cannot see anything, only takes in sensory. So everything outside of yourself is fake and not real. So how can something hurt your mind? It'll never happen.
And also, Gemini, I want to add to what Ruben is saying, right? It only, when you hold on to anger, when you hold on to all of those negative feelings, right? Especially towards someone or even towards yourself, right? I think what happens is that you start to impact your body internally, right? I work in healthcare and I see a lot of people who have had like strokes and heart attacks and things like that, right? And cancer. And a lot of the diseases that I work with, the doctors don't know where they came from, right? Especially when you got someone that is healthy, they eat right, they go to the gym. And I do believe, right, that when we internalize those things and we don't let them go, I do think that it does impact our internal bodily functions. And I say that to say, on a more spiritual, more mental level, that harboring those, it doesn't impact the other person, right? It only impacts you. And when people show me who they are, right, like they famously say, I believe them, right? Great Maya Angelou. Um, and when you believe people to be who they are, then they don't upset you anymore, right? It's not a shock because you know this to be of them. So they don't make you mad anymore, right? And so that's like one of the, like a skill, right, that I try and teach my daughters. And also, in life with doing when you encounter people or around people.
Hmm. I
Beautifully
wanted to
said.
say this though, and it kind of tied back into what I was. That's why I was mentioning earlier when I said about understanding yourself, building understanding with yourself, and then eventually start building love for yourself too. And it's really big. Like I understand, it sounds simple, but it is really big, and like it's just building habits, all that stuff. And once you do build this, well, get to the stage of loving yourself, then you, that's like what she was saying, you realize the lack of forgiveness it's affecting you, and it's also a chain or something. So, and then it prevents you from making better decisions, like because you keep having this one thing holding you back. Then you push that energy towards other people that don't deserve it, or that word that everybody loves saying, deserve. But you push that towards people that had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? You always on tip all the time. Like I can still tell to this day, right? I be just listening to people and they be in full relationships, all type of stuff, and still spewing all the most hatred stuff they can say, and ready to fight everybody. It's like, dang, that even that relationship they don't even help you. That's why I say even money, all that stuff don't help you from being a happy person. That happiness and all that stuff got to come from within yourself. All that stuff literally got to be yourself, and then you give it to the next person or you spread it. That's why I even tell people like, with your partner, that's just supposed to be an addition to your life. It ain't supposed to be your life. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to have these things that even if y'all was to split apart, you still a functioning person. You know what I'm saying? Know how to get by. Know when things is low or is at the bottom. You know how to pick yourself back up. All them things you got to learn within yourself. But it takes time with yourself. And some people don't take time to themselves. I can understand everybody want to talk to people, everybody want to, all these things, but you still have to figure these things out on your own because it's not going to be people that's going to be around to help give you them sweet words all the time. It just don't work like that. So you got to find these sweet words within yourself so you can get yourself together so you don't have to rely on the next person. But like I said, when you start building understanding and love within yourself, you start dodging things. And when you really, because I prioritize peace and stuff, peace and understanding is like literally my, uh, is why I'm at where I'm at. I've always been focusing on that since the past 4 years. Just peace and understanding. So anything that was like that was kind of that was interrupting my peace or tearing it down, I was like, all right, what can I do to avoid this? What's the next move? How can I get back to it? That's why I say I rather know how to find peace rather than having it. I think somebody had asked a question about that. Would you rather have peace or find peace? And then they explained to me about finding versus having. I was like, oh, that do make sense though. That way, if you could find it right, you know how to get back to it. If you just have it, which is like the coping mechanism what people do nowadays, well, okay, this at the moment, if I do this, oh, I'm gonna have my peace or I'm gonna be a little less stressed. If I drink or something like that, like if you still find yourself coping, that's usually just like a temporary thing. That's not just, that's having peace. That's not finding it. You know what I'm saying? Because like finding it is like where it don't cost no money, where it don't, it's something where you can really do within yourself, where you can be able to go to your own mind and find it within there. You know what I'm saying? Rather than somebody have to calm you down. Hey, bro, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You got to be able to tell yourself it ain't worth it. It's not about somebody having to tell you. But it's going to be times, of course, it's going to be a lot that we can not handle. We might need that extra person, though. But eventually, everything got to go back to self again. You got to learn how to do these things yourself. Even this question you asked today, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. You know what I'm saying? To where you can understand it. Because you might not understand it coming out of our mouth, but if you really want to look for this thing called forgiveness and find out how to do it within for yourself, you got to really want it. You got to want it as bad as like if you was trying to get some buns type stuff. Men love buns, don't they? They do anything for that. They spend money and all type of stuff for that. So just wanting it just as bad. You know what I'm saying? If you want to live a good life or a better life or peaceful type of life, that's how you grind and do it. That's just how that works. You gotta, because people be investing their time in stuff that ain't really worth it or some short term things. Why not put in something that's long term or something that can just, that can, uh, you know, basically build you to be just a person that everybody just love being around. You know what I'm saying? If you find yourself in a situation where everybody just, uh, strongly dislike you, I don't want to say the other word, the H word, but when you always around that, it's something you got to look within yourself. Like, why are these people always never liking me? And then what people do nowadays, which is gonna be that projecting thing we talking about this topic. They like, well, I'm not a people person. They rather feel better by saying that, not knowing why they're not a people person because they know they got to look for something within them again, which people do not like change. We already know that. Earlier, I realized people don't like. Well, we already know that people don't like accountability. They don't like that either. So anything that got to do with that, or you know what I'm saying? If everybody, the thing is, what I was mentioning earlier before. Everybody plays a certain role in life. You know what I'm saying? All of us have choices, but all of us be trying to act like we don't have choices when we done made these choices already. Now we be like, we ain't made. I don't know about that. I was kind of forced to that situation. But they don't want to admit that, okay, I made this choice off because of the way I was feeling and I thought this was right, but I ended up wrong. But I'd rather say that I had no choice. I didn't know. I got tricked. All this stuff or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're not aware of your choices, you're going to keep making the same silly choices. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm big on trying to understand yourself. Understand why you pick who you pick. Understand why, understand why you always get triggered all the time. Understand why I'm always sad every last moment because a lot of us just hiding traumas and it come out every time a topic come out. I peep all type of stuff. That's why I say I do. The thing is, by me understanding myself and building myself, it kind of give me the ups on other people because I could tell when people was hurt. I could
Mm-hmm.
tell when people was projecting, which is the topic. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I could tell when people doing all that stuff. People get the almost getting angry, and I'm like, duh, how's you mad at me for what come out my mouth? Or what I'm saying? All type of stuff, right? It's a reason behind it. You're tying your projections, right? Which is the topic again. You're tying that into what's being said. Because if you find yourself, and it's for everybody, right? If you find yourself getting triggered by another person, ask yourself, why is it like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's not always everybody else's fault for what you decided to get in. Nobody told nobody to get on this app, right? You
Mm-hmm.
downloaded this just to get triggered by somebody on this app. That's your fault. That's where accountability comes in at, right?
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm big on, like, okay, when stuff, like, if my life, like, if it was to go south, right, it don't go the way I want it to. At the end of the day, I made this choice. I'm the one that let this person get to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I hold myself accountable at. That's where I built that understanding that I understand that I made the decision. And like I said, y'all gonna realize what I mean about understanding is the key of life. More than freaking communication. I believe understanding is the key of life. Because some stuff you don't have to communicate to understand, right? Sometimes I can know another dude is speaking a whole other language and understand the pain he going through. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to communicate that. These things I can just see visually. You know what I'm saying?
Most
But like I
definitely.
said, the more, if you got to focus really on building self, loving yourself, and then from that point, then you make decisions for yourself and for what's better. And then eventually it spreads. Once you love yourself so much and build confidence with yourself, and you start caring, I actually start, like I mentioned before, the more I start loving myself, I start loving everybody else. And it's a weird the way to explain it, but you have to really, like I said, start off with yourself, and then you will see what I mean. But I can't explain why I end up building a love for everybody else, because, like I said, I realize all of us as humans. I realize a lot of us are hurt. So why would I got to get hurt because another person is hurt? I mean, as in, like, if they was to call me out my name or whatever, I can't. Now that I became more bigger and more mature on different things, I'm not about to. I can't let another person. Like, we gonna have people that probably come in the comments saying some silly stuff, right? Saying, you just don't know. They do things. That's why I was talking to my man's earlier that was in his live earlier. I'm like, stop. You don't have to reply to everybody. You're saying you're not getting triggered, but you're replying to every last person what they're saying. Oh, you just don't want to hear me. I understand that that's what people do. Like, especially if you get to going and saying everything that would need to be said, people's going to say some silly stuff. You sound dumb. They're going to say something. They're going to say something to throw you off your course because they hurt themselves. There's so many hurt people on this app that be trying to act like that they healed. They not. You know what I'm saying? You gonna notice that a lot of people on here, and the people that's always listening to get triggered or listening to, to basically just to go off, they just on here. These are people that just look to give to for venting. That's all it is. I'm not even big on that no more. I mean, I let people vent. I let people do all their stuff, but I'm more solution based than anything. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you vent so long till we get be like, all right, well, now what's the solution? What can we do about it? Because I can't sit here in tears all day, because tears don't make that stuff work. It just, tears ain't gonna make me become a better person. It just don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Tears ain't about to build up this lifestyle that I want. It's just not. I can cry all day. Even God himself is like, how long you gonna mourn? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I understand you gonna mourn. I understand that you're a human, but how long you gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? He even like, yeah, you got to get to doing some work. You know what I'm saying? You about to spend a whole week when you could have been having that week building yourself up, but you just sitting here crying in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, not to say feelings is a bad thing, but you got to realize that, hey, tomorrow is literally not promised to none of us. So why spend every last day crying about it when you could be doing something to help somebody else or uplift somebody else or uplift yourself? You know what I'm saying? You can figure these things, like I said, and that's one of the worst things. And like, I feel you on that forgiveness thing. Like, you want to try to figure that out quick as you can. You know what I'm saying? When you really want it. Because if you realize how not forgiving it affect your life, always with a balled up face every time you walk past that person you don't like, that's harsh. That's a harsh way to live. You know what I'm saying? And then the most that can happen is like, what the only way to get over it, and you still not gonna get over it, is try to beat somebody up. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But that's not gonna still do nothing to it, because at the end of the day, you got to get your satisfaction within yourself, because that's gonna be a temporary feel. But sometimes it might not go the way you want it to, even if you put hands on somebody or whatever situation, or cut somebody off. You're not gonna. It's still not gonna give you the satisfaction, especially if it goes south or not the way that you wanted to or you planned it, and it make you even worse. That's why I recommend people to try to figure this way out how to forgive. Because like I said, it's not even just affecting you. Sometimes it affects your family that you love. It affects your, and everybody, I hope people love their mother. You don't want to be giving that energy to mother and stuff. Giving her an unforgivable type hug because you mad at the world. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to stress her out too if you care about your mama. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff, like your mama care about you, but if you mad at everybody else and putting yourself in situations, you know what I'm saying? She ain't about to cheat. You know, she's very, most of the time, most of our mothers be more sensitive than anything. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them to be stressing out because of us, because they love their child. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to be able to, especially as a man, you want to be able to build yourself up or find this way to, hey, I got to find a way to let this go.
That was
Do you
beautiful, brother. I am you and you are me, bro. I love you.
Mr. Rubin,
I love you, bro.
Mr. Rubin, before you go, because I want to say this and then I'm gonna drop down. And I think Kev has froze, but but my grandmother used to say to me all the time when I was growing up, you have choices when you wake up in the morning. You can't control what's going on around you, right? But you can control how you feel, whether you're going to choose to be mad, whether you're going to choose to be angry, or whether you're going to choose to be happy and see joy in what you have. And a lot of the times, if you feel with anger, right, that's the only thing you could pour into other people, right? You can only pour into other people what you have of yourself. So if you're always angry, you're
It's
gonna
what is
pour.
it? Learn, adapt, or
He's still talking. And if you
You
have
froze.
joy,
You froze for about a good minute, bro.
Your screen timed out. And
and
Millie was sharing her perspective. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm in here too.
He right there.
Learn, adapt. I'm moving it up right now. It's learn, adapt, or basically, I still can't think of the word. I know it's three of them, but that's what it's meant for at the end of the day. You know, that's what happened. Everything gonna happen in our life, not the way. It just don't go the way we want to. That's the reason why I'm not big on a. You know, we should all have a plan. We should all have a plan. Like, don't you know? That's why I'm big on pushing living day by day because the stuff we plan don't always mean it's gonna go the way we want to, and that's what we get mad at. That's why we don't learn to forgive. Hold up, I'm back. Hold up, give me a second, y'all.
Millie, go ahead. I was listening to finish what you were saying. It was so
here
nice.
we go. I'm back. Oops.
Kev, you switching between the pods. It's got me rolling over here.
Go ahead, Millie.
All right,
Um,
yeah, but I'm almost done. But basically, I'm just saying
Oh,
that once you realize how this stuff affects you and stuff, because TikTok always hating. But I forgive you, TikTok, because I know you. It's things happen for a reason. It is what it is. But like I said, once you, that's the key thing. Even with all I said, you got to learn first. You got to understand yourself, forgive yourself. You know, once you forgive yourself, then you realize that's when you can forgive others because you start putting yourself in like, okay, I make silly decisions. I also must have cussed somebody out on purpose, you know, but I would want somebody to forgive me. You know, a lot of us want other people, but people that still talking about, I don't care, I do like that, but they still, you know, some people want to stay in misery. Some people don't love themselves as much as they can. Some people count on other people to love them for them to love themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's not real love. That's why when somebody said that earlier, that all this stuff, like, it can't get no realer than self. You know, peace can't, if you can't find it within yourself, it can't get no realer than that. If you ask for somebody else, that's fake. If you ask somebody else to love you, that's fake. If you ask somebody else for happiness, that's a fake. Like, all that stuff is fake. Even if your stuff, all that stuff is within an item. If it got to be a video game to keep my peace, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it got to be, you know, I can say all these things. If it's a job, the reason why I'm not stressing, that's not real. You got to find a way to not stress within yourself. So, but I'm that's y'all fault. Y'all asked me about that forgiveness, man. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all rock, man.
I want to say real quick, in an entertainment point of view, uh, I we are all genies, powerful genies, and trapped in bottles. Well, not all, and hypothetically, in the slumber, when you know this Western world are all genies in bottles. The bottles is the prison. So watch this. We don't even know that we are genies. So if someone comes and rubs our lamp or our bottle, we come out and we create miracles, literally in this simulation for them without even knowing. But guess what? We go back in the bottle. But we rub ourselves, right? So what I'm saying is when I when someone came to me to create miracles, what I'm trying to say is my first will or wish is not really true. It's will. Everyone wills the power. So I let my first wish, if I may, was to set him free. So I set him free, like saying, I know that it's not your fault anymore either. So as soon as I forgave in front of me, that was it. That was the change. So yes, in forgiving you, I don't know where I went with this, but whatever.
Well, I was just gonna say, and then I'm dropping down. What you pour into yourself is what the capacity of what you're gonna have to pour into others. So if you're always angry, you choose to be angry, and you have that inside of you, that is what you're going to give unto others, right? And unto yourself, because that is going to impact you, because you're gonna make some bad decisions for yourself, right? But if you choose to have joy, right? If you choose to have happiness, you choose to have peace, you pour yourself with that, you can't help but pour that into other people as well. And so I land there. You guys have a good night, Kev. And I'll see y'all later.
All right, for sure. Appreciate
Yeah. And I
Thank
think
you, man.
you know, like the your world around you is gonna be is it's hard for people to realize, but the world or the reality that you created around you has a lot to do with the person that you are and the decisions that you've made. Um, Now, there's conversations can be had about the outside force, but you can't focus so much time on the outside force because we can have a million conversations about things that don't involve me, but I can't change those things. So the only thing that you can change, the only real genuine place to have a true conversation is with yourself. And what can you change next time? How can you go about it better next time? You know, where are some areas where you may have missed? Where do you need to do some self-reflecting? Where are some of your blind spots? And if you start having those type of conversations with yourself, you'll find that because you are the common denominator, and I mean, God is the foundation, but you know, it's on a more basic level if you don't have that type of faith. And you are the foundation for the different areas of your life. So the stronger that you are, your relationships are stronger. You know, um, the stronger that you are with your finances, that leaks over that transitions over to when you start a family. Your family, now you have a strong family finances as well. You're able to transfer that over to other people, but it all starts with you at the end of the day.
What's going on, everybody?
you. There, man. What you got for us? How you feeling?
What's good with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I do think that healing is very, very important. I will acknowledge that I'm not the most empathetic person because I stand on a lot of principle, and there are certain principles that I'm not gonna shake for the sake of people being able to say I'm empathetic. But I do think that healing is very, very important, and I think a lot of people, when you don't heal, it's a lot easier to project. And when you start healing, you start to learn from some of those things. And I think a lot of them overlap, and there's a lot of nuance in them. Um, I don't know if I really want to say that anybody is broken, though. That language, I don't know. It's just, I would need to get an example of somebody being broken for me to really kind of get that. But yeah, I do think a lot more people really need to heal from some of the things that happen so that we can be able to establish principles, and so that also we can just feel more free. Because when you don't heal, you just feel really weighed down. You weigh everybody else down because you're just carrying things around. And like somebody said, what you put into things, what you have for things is what you put into them. And so if you're always angry, it doesn't matter. Even if you're not projecting that anger, people feel it and people absorb it, So, yeah. But to hit the second prompt, I don't know if I think that lack of empathy is really the problem. I think a lot of people have an issue with people having boundaries and standards. And when people don't allow them to violate those standards or those boundaries, or when it's kind of like, all right, being known as a liar. If you're known as a liar, that's one of the hardest stereotypes to break for yourself, because you're now associated with that. It's really just word of mouth. Who can really say that you're not that? And you can't have empathy. Like, it's unfortunate, but you can't expect people to just be like, oh, well, y'all, they decided that they don't lie no more. No, it's just not gonna work like that. So I think, realistically, I don't know if I would say empathy is a problem, rather than people being upset that they are going to receive criticism for the things that they say, regardless of if they've moved past it or not. But I do think that eventually, depending on the thing, you should be able to let something go. But letting something go letting something go and overlooking something are different to me. And I think a lot of times when it comes to empathy, or the idea of empathy as we be talking about it on social media, it really kind of be centered in overlooking things rather than forgiving people.
Okay. Anything? Anybody else? Okay. Got quiet.
Kay ain't said nothing.
Who?
I'm over
Kay,
Oh,
here tapping.
KMJ. She ain't said
Are
nothing.
we still? Can y'all hear me? I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Charging
you
my
good.
phone. Oh, okay. Well, hey everybody.
The
Are we
D.
still talking about forgiveness?
If you want to,
We talking about the prompt.
or we can get on the prompt. It don't matter.
Well, the only thing I will say about forgiveness, I do think it is a gift that you do give yourself. Um, I think it's good to know that you can feel bad and recover, and I think that that's one thing about forgiveness that's helped me, that you can feel bad and recover. Um, and it is freeing. It actually takes more effort and energy to hold on to the pain, to hurt, rather than just let it go. Um, so I just rather let it go, whether it means that I have to forgive myself for what I thought would be. Also having that grace, that understanding, that love. And that doesn't mean that you may reconcile with that person. A lot of times people think because you forgive that you got to be buddy buddy, and that you got to act like nothing's ever happened. But it's just like, no, you can forgive a person and you can set yourself free. And it's just, life is just a lot more better that way. It's for your peace. It's to keep your heart cleansed, to keep your heart open, and to not uh, project or visit that pain that someone has visited upon you. I don't want to be like my perpetrator. I want to be liberated. So that's what I always say.
Mhm. So real quick, then, yeah, tap people. Let's get to 15K at least. I ain't asking for too much at the moment. At the moment. Everybody can tap real quick to give me the 15K. If y'all haven't shared yet, I don't see no shares at the bottom. I think that thing tripping. I swear I shared. Shared about few people. If you don't know how to share, hold your finger on my box for 2 seconds and see a list of names pop up. And also where it says share at the bottom, you can do it that way too. Um, let me see if what I can hit on this thing real quick, and then maybe I can open up some. Uh, so with the first one, I'm gonna say. So that's more of a like a trick question though. So basically, I'm just with this say, can you learn and project at the same time? Only reason why I said that one is because a lot of people would like to say, I'm here to learn, but then all they do is tell their story all day. And then when you're trying to talk to them, it's like, and that's why I got that last part. Basically, if somebody listening, but that's on the second question though. But for the most part, everybody be saying I'm learning, but they come in here just to say they piece and go. So it's like, ain't no way you coming in here to learn. Um, so them more of like venting. I think projection is probably good for venting or just letting steam out. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all about knowing what room you in, because I know everybody just want to be heard for the most part, and you can't say that you're looking for change when you're trying to just express yourself. I don't think nobody's trying to change. So it's like you only got an option uh to you only got an option to either like if you want to become better or if you want to just feel good or if you want to be good or I would say if you want to live good or feel good, I think for the most part. But some people I think a lot of people be acting like they want to be live good, but they just want to feel good for the most part. That's why you always see them in like safe spaces or trigger warning or the toxic lives, toxic lives when you be or gossips, the gossip lives, those type of lives. You'll see them with the biggest numbers of them all because it's a lot of miserable people. Some people is like I get it, they might be doing it for what I would say entertainment, I guess nowadays. But most of the time, it's just they found somebody that might be as miserable as them, and they like, hey, cool, I get to see somebody that's doing worse than me. Or some people still wouldn't admit it, you know what I'm saying? But they look at it like, ooh, I love it. I see drama because I got a drama type life, so that's what fuels me anyways. So let me go ahead and look for something. So, and it's sad that them be the most biggest lies and stuff, having them type of runs, but you know, uh for the most part, yeah, them good for projection. That's another form of projection. You can you can do it through other people, I guess, from what I'm thinking about. Ooh man, they feel the way I feel. I love being uh um, a home wrecker. Or I love seeing people unhappy because I'm unhappy. They'll never admit it though. Them be the same ones that don't never admit it, but that they see unhappy. They love seeing unhappiness, and they love to see it on your face too. Especially when you talking the good positive. They always be the ones that be always like, well, what if this? Them the what if people all the time. Well, what if that? And what if? And that's not true. Then tell me what's true then. It'd be funny to say they want to say stuff like that, but they never come with. And I was mentioning that before. They used to do that to me like crazy when I'm early in my lives. I've ran into people like that. Always tell me what I'm saying. Nah, it ain't like that for everybody. Then what is it for everybody then? Tell me something that's better. Give me a better route then. They never have nothing. Well, I don't know, but I just know what you're saying is just might be delusional or something like that. Okay, well, tell me something that's illusional or whatever. I just made that word up. Tell me something about that. They never say anything because everybody like to. I was about to say the B word, but everybody like to cry all the time on here rather than look for stuff. So I'm not looking for. That's my thing. Like I said, it's just this app full of grown crybabies, low key. That's just what it is. Everybody just literally just sit here and be like, you know, how much, what you been through? I know what I wanted to say, but I can't think about it quick enough though. But basically, just all they want to do is just nobody trying to change. That's one of the worst things. Right. Nobody really want to change. They just want to cry on here. That's just all it is. And like I said, I'm not big on that, man. If you're not saying no uplifting, motivating things, I already told myself when I made that decision when I read this book called, which I recommend a lot of people to do, but otherwise it's boring to other people. Read this, or I heard it was an audio book, called it's Atomic Habits,
Yeah, it's a good book.
and yep, Atomic Habits, and that would change my life. That's one of the biggest things that changed my life because I was first I opened myself up and became receptive because I used to listen to a lot of motivational videos before that. When I heard that one, that opened me up. But you have to be receptive. That's just like even when you see a therapist or something like that. If you're trying to change, you don't go in there in defense. You can never learn anything in defense mode. I don't have to make that a topic. I don't have to make that a topic though. But you can't learn anything in defense mode. You have to be willing to be receptive of whatever the message is, and it don't have to be whatever. But I'm just saying, like you have to be more receptive than defensive. That's just what it is. Because it's like some illusion. I made that one up, right? Exactly. But you have to, because it's like, and I think I got caught at that time because I was like, man, I didn't know, I didn't realize I was going through stuff. I didn't want to admit it either, but I just was like, I don't know what got in my life. It might have been God talking to me in another way. I don't know what made me start looking at motivational videos and stuff. I guess I just liked it the way it feel. I liked the way it feel when I was listening to some of them audios. Like, man, you know. And then when that one hit, I'm like, dang, that's why I'm big on that accountability thing, low key. I'm big on accountability thing because I was like, dang, I realized that all this stuff, like, because look, this, like, this happened like a week before, right? Or a couple of weeks before I was getting on this dude's head, right? And I was always, and I'm telling you, I went through some stuff when it came to that accountability. I had went through some tests, and that's why I'm probably so big on people head, not because I was that prideful person or ego person or that, hey, this is what happened. It is what it is. There's no reason behind it type person. Well, this is just me. I was that, like all the stuff I be talking to people about or going heavy on them, I was literally that person. So it was like, okay, it was the dude that asked me, he like, because I told people, I was telling them, like, I ain't no morning person. I say that all the time. I keep saying that. Don't know the reason why. I just know I was always be angry and stuff, but I just live with it because I just, you know, and I never knew the reason why, but I just said because everybody's saying it. And everybody's big on, I'm not this and I'm going to stand on what I stand on. And then this dude was like, he asked me like, why is you saying that? And I'm like, well, that's just because of what it is. It's just what it is. I've been like that for years because I've been saying it for years, right? Literally for years, ever since I've been working. But I, I realized after listening to that, and it hit me heavy because like like a couple weeks later when I listened to that book, that audio book, Atomic Habits, they happen to use that as an example though, because he's like, hey, we are all built off habits. Whatever we want to be, whatever we want to be is what we can be, what we become. It's a habit. We got to build a habit out of it. If I want to be positive, I got to think of all positive ways. If I want to become, you know, because we build negative habits and become negative, or we build, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand it. So everything literally is a habit. So it was just like they was breaking it down about how the reactives work, or how we react to things, how we store things, how our memory work, how we, you know, how even we move or decisions we make, how we identify ourselves. That's how deep it is. And sometimes we call ourselves, like I be trying to tell people, like, okay, we're black, right? We can say that, right? Some people don't know nothing past just being black. You know, most of the time they tie black with hurt or some type of pain and then try to motivate themselves or uplift themselves by saying that we're strong. But you're weak. Most of them be weak and say they strong. Like, usually if we're going to say stuff like that, at least amplify yourself enough that you're not just trying to lie to yourself and saying that I'm strong. Act strong. That's why I was talking about yesterday about words being bigger than actions being bigger than words. People never live up to their words. You know, like it's only so far we can keep on saying these sweet somethings to ourselves but when is the actions gonna follow behind it? That's why I know people is not living up. And that's why I'm big on of what people of wording, right? Wording I can tell a lot about a person off wording, even if they admit it or not. I can tell off of it. People be like, no, I'm good. You know, I'm not gonna become better, but the way you use these words, I could tell. I literally like that's why I stay quiet with people because I know some people is just some people could be freaking, you know, very stubborn and all that. I'd rather not argue with a person, but I know, me myself, I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I literally was that person. You can't really kind of trick me on that. And I'm like, dang, I was literally like that when people be trying to, and that's why I say I be so big on that word and stuff. But back to the when I was talking about the with the book Atomic Habits. So when I was listening to it, it was like, okay, you can really be whatever you want to be. A lot of people, and he was like, a lot of people like putting themselves, basically saying you put yourself in a box. And not the exact wording, but they saying you put yourself in a box. Well, majority of the time we put ourselves in a box. Like I was mentioning earlier before, some people don't go beyond just I am black. They just say that and don't know the reason why they're taking up for it. What is black? You know, what is the act of it? You know what I'm saying? It just go past just this, my skin is that, and that's it. So it's like people literally, we all box ourselves. That's why I'm big. That's why even with the horoscopes, we say I'm this sign, and all I'm going to do is act like this sign. And anytime I'm not going to admit that some of the times I can override the sign. I'd rather just keep living up and keep being me. So when I make these messed up decisions, or if I be mean with somebody, oh, my sign about to bag me up. It always told me that I was stubborn and bullheaded. It always told me that, oh, the reason why I got to sleep with a bunch of girls, I'm a Scorpio. It told me that I'm supposed to do that. So people gonna always, anything that keep them from changing or help uh enhance their lifestyle, they're gonna stick with that. And then they're gonna hit you with that. This is me, this is how I operate, and you can't tell me otherwise. So I just let people stay in it. But at the end of the day, you box yourself in. That's why I chose to be open minded. So back to the book again, right? So it had said, like, it told me that really whatever you build a habit is what you become, basically. Just like what you believe is and what you become. So it had hit me with this, like, people talk to themselves and they say that I have bad memory. I have this. And then they hit it with, some people say that they have they're not morning people. And I was like, dang, I felt guilty to the mother when they said that, like, dog. So, and then from there, because it hit me just like how church hit some people, just like, some of these messages I might say might hit people because it hit me. And I had to ask myself, why did it hit me like this? Because I'm like, dang, I literally just said this a month to this guy while I was trying to convince him. And I was like, bro, I'm not a morning person, and that's what it is because I said it. But I never asked myself, why am I not a morning person? So it was up to me to figure it out on my own. Like, you know what? I'm not a morning person because I don't get enough sleep. I like staying up. I like doing all these things, and I like going to bed late. And I get mad at myself because I want to pick this lifestyle when I could simply just go to bed early, or stuff like that. I don't have to, I can sleep early and then do my, what I'm saying? So I realized why I'm not a morning person. So I realized that all these stuff, that's why I'm big on that. It's always a reason behind everything we do, say, or talk like. And it's always a reason behind these things. I'm not big on that. It's just, it is. A man is just a man. A woman is just a woman. No, I'm not big on it. It's always a reason behind it. Even if it's a scientific reason behind it, it's always a reason. I'm not about to just let stuff slide. That's because I had to learn myself not to let things slide. I got to know the reasons why I'm doing it, why I'm acting this way, all this stuff. So that's why I realized, like I said, I recommend that book, Atomic Habits, a 5-hour audio book. I mean, I can't. The audio book is 5 hours, right? But I don't know how long it take people to personally, if they read the book for themselves. I don't know. That depends. You know what I'm saying? How fast you read or how slow you read. But I recommend the audio, especially if you're just working and moving around, because I listened to that like about 3 different times, and it was hitting me from different angles. And what I got out of it is that whatever I want to be is what I'm gonna become. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always love using that hippie example, right? If I wanted to be a hippie, that I can literally do it. If all I've been doing is living my life like this and saying that, no, I supposed to be cultural, I supposed to be that. No, I can do that if I choose to, but that's because somebody else telling me what to be. But I realize all of us as humans, we can make our own decisions and become whatever we want to become. It reminded me like my cousin that was like, okay, my mama might have told me this religion or something like that, but he chose to do his own thing because no matter what, he's going to get judged, even though he still reap what he sown in the situation, because he wanted to. I was talking about that yesterday about him being in that multiple wives, because he had like a bunch of wives. He did the 4-wife thing, Alibaba, whatever it's called. But he realized how much he can handle. Now he ended back with one wife again. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way. But what I'm saying is he made his own decision. He's had to go past and learn for himself. And that's the thing. Like we always tie ourselves into certain things and don't know why. That's why they be saying about we're indoctrinated and all this stuff. I can understand that though. But sometimes it gets to a point in life that you have to unlearn some things, especially the negative stuff. Sometimes we always stick to the negative stuff all the time and then just say, this is my character. Well, you just gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna wonder why you can't keep a relationship, why you can't keep friends and all that stuff. But so after that, like I said, after I read that whole book and I realized I could become whatever I want to be, or I could be whatever I might be saying it wrong. Be whatever I want to be, basically. I told myself, I was like, you know what? I want to be a motivator, because what's the worst that can happen with that, right? And also I said I want to be a positive person. And I was like, what's the worst that can happen out of it? I was about to do what I was going to do what people be doing on me now. Well, what if this? The what if thing with these what if people. What if that? If somebody do that? So I was what ifing myself for a little bit, but I knew I always want to be a positive person, because I was like, what's the worst that can happen? Just like I tell people when they don't want to believe in the Bible. I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? Believing in it. I don't understand it. That's what convinced me to read it more, because I'm like, what's so bad about it? But basically, I said that I want to be positive. So I looked at all positive ways. What's that? And it was a struggle. I ain't gonna lie, for the first couple months, because I was like, you know what? I hit myself with a what if. Well, what if I say good morning and somebody don't say good morning to me? I'm like, dang, that could happen. So I had that test, right? Then I had to think about it like, what do this? That's when I learned what genuineness is versus nice versus being kind. I had to talk to myself like, bro, why do I gotta have a bad day because somebody else have a bad day? So because they don't say hi to me, I gotta not say hi. I'm like, so who got the control? So I had to talk to myself in that way. So I'm like, hold up, no. If I said I'm gonna be and stand on this, like everybody want to stand on certain things, right? Especially the negative stuff. They want to stand on. I told you I'm aggressive, and I'll be on it. I'm like, what? Okay, but you're gonna get that aggressive type energy back at you. So I said, I realized we can choose this. All this stuff is choices. So I like, you know what? If I'm gonna stand on being a positive person, I'm not about to let them change the way I think. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to be. So I even had another thing that tested me down the line too. Like this dude came, got on my cousin, me and my cousin. I don't know if y'all remember Juan when he was in here. He got on me and him because we was working together for a good little. And actually, my cousin played a big part of why I am the way I am today. Like he got me more open minded, and also he the one that showed me that book. Not realizing the impact it probably would have did on me. I'm pretty sure it hit him different from what it hit me way different from what it hit him. But he was always into podcasts and all this other stuff and listening to stuff. But I don't think it hit him the same way. But I'm pretty sure he got something out of it. But that hit me. That's like the biggest thing. And that's why I'm probably doing this now. You know what I'm saying? He has been motivating me. He the one that actually got me to doing like certain videos like, shoot, why not do it? Might as well. You seem like it seemed like there's some stuff. So my cousin did play a big part. Wine, he played a big part. Cause me and him be having deep talks. Like me and him used to, and it was always like that. And it's like, why not make the deep talks be for everybody to see it? You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, so it's obvious that because I'm looking at how this world going, why not have, so why not express what's already on my mind? So I realized I had some, stuff within me. I said I might as well talk about it on here. Maybe it's people that can understand it. Maybe I can help people. And then even throughout these years, I realized I have been helping people. And helping people is helping me too. You know what I'm saying? It's helping me become a better person. And you know what I'm saying? So I'll be learning from people. And like I said, I started off on this thing trying to teach all the time until I started getting challenged. Then I was like, you know what? If in order for me to become a better person, I got to learn too. So with the laugh or learn, it worked both ways. You know, I want to laugh sometimes too. I want to make people laugh. I want to learn and I want to teach too. So I mean, I had to realize it got to work. If I want to become a better person, I got to hear everything. Back to with number 2, I got to hear all perspectives. I don't want to be one sided all the time because I realize both sides can always have something that could be, two people could be right in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that, and that's what helped me grow. You know what I'm saying? That's what also ties into that forgiveness thing that I was talking to Jim about. And stop looking at only from my way. Stop worrying about only just my feelings. I had to realize there's people with feelings that attack me, just like me. And if I want to become better and bigger, I can't let these people that might be weaker than me, and I might have to talk to myself like that about other people. I wouldn't say it out loud, but I'm like, it's obvious they're weaker than me. That's why they reacted in that way. That's why that's when I know I'm winning an argument, when they want to cuss me out. Okay, you was weak enough, you couldn't stand on something, now you calling me a B and all that stuff. So you're the weak one. But I feel sorry for you that you had to go that route. Hey, right there. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry you got to go that route. I probably went that route if I was just as weak as you. But I can't stoop to their level. Let me be weak like them. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize that. So overall, like I said, you can become whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could literally be, like I said, I'll be saying that hippie life, and hippies was on the stuff. They was literally on it. All they asked for peace, love, and happiness. That's what we long for. That's what we really want. But we so tied into these desires that we want. We want to smash this. We just want everything our way all the time. You know what I'm saying? But peace, love, and happiness, that's literally almost dang near another key to life. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, once you see what peace do for you in this chaotic type world, you like, man, that's like gold. That's more than freaking money. That's more than anything, like low key. In my book, I realize that's rare too. You know what I'm saying? So I decided that, right? I decided that. Yes, it's facade, but depending on your point of view though, depending on the way you look at life though. But it can be the best thing depending on how you see it though. But it's just, you have to have a facade type mentality to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? That's just what that is. But if it's really like what helps build you, because like everybody view things differently. It's like some people don't really know what accountability is. You know what I'm saying? People, people don't really know what these things is, and they really think the way they experience it, this is how it is. But it just, I don't know. It just depends on everybody's view on that situation, though. But yeah, overall, like I said, I realize, and that's why I don't like boxing myself in. That's why I don't deal with the horoscopes. I go further than just me being black. I don't. I mean, I fight for everything. I realize that the war is bigger than just skin color. You know what I'm saying? I realize, I see so much things though. So that's why I don't try to box. I don't box myself in. I don't try to box my mind in either. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was just getting to about it. But I do recommend, like I said, that book Atomic Habit. That thing, it helped me grow for real. You know what I'm saying? It helped me grow like crazy. So yeah, I'm done now.
You got to
Did
give
anybody
yourself
get
a round
anything
of
they want to?
applause.
Oh, what'd you say, Kay?
No, I was saying you got to give yourself a round of applause because you just did the Rev Kev thing and we love it. So can you give yourself a round of applause? Yeah. You do what you do best. Good job. For real. And Atomic
Appreciate
Habits
you.
is a really good book. I love that book too. So when you said, I was like, oh my gosh, you read it too. So
That book changed my life. I ain't gonna even lie. It did. That book literally made me for real. I ain't gonna lie. Made me today. It played a major part. But like I said, I was in receptive mode. People be saying they want to change, but they not receptive. They more defensive than anything. That's all it is. If you defensive on things, you never become better. You just won't. I literally got caught at the right time because I was just like, okay, motivation, motivation. If I would have just looked at that book, I was like, man, that just sounds weird and scientific and stuff. I'm like, what is that? I just like whatever. Cuz send me that. He sent me a couple things though, and I just listened to it, and I'm like, certain stuff just started hitting me. Like, what the heck? I never looked at it that way, but like I said, I was in like receptive mode. I just wanted to feel good. I love hearing. I just at that time just love hearing. I like the way motivation was making me feel. I'm saying, ooh man, dang, I do need that. Dang, So it's a good feeling, but I rather have motivation make me feel good than toxic. Them both dopamine effects, right? They both they feel the same, almost the same way, but one of them is actually damaging your life more than, and the other one's uplifting your life. That's the difference. That toxic feeling when you see that, oh, hey, dang, you know what I'm saying, whatever, or when you put somebody in their place feeling, that's another dopamine effect. But also, if you can realize the type of person you are, because if you still getting a dopamine effect off that, it show that you like more of a miserable person. If you give a dopamine effect by letting the situation go, like, dang, I feel good that I didn't let this person, get me to stoop down to their level and all that stuff. That tell you that
Frozen, my brother. You're gonna have to add yourself again.
yeah, you don't come.
There it is.
yep, TikTok. I forget you TikTok. Remember with forgetting, you got to do it 700 times. Like, but it really mean no count though. But yeah, and that's one thing. Like I recommend forgetting, especially if you can't. If there's nothing you could change about it, one thing we can't do is change another person. So it'll never work that way. You can get as mad as you want. You could punch a wall, but all you did is hurt yourself. Punch a wall is not gonna be like, oh, brother. I'm sorry that I took your girl. That's not gonna work like that. It just don't work like that. So most time that's exactly what that is when we don't forgive. You know what I'm saying? We just hurting ourselves while another person ain't even worry about 2 cents about you. And if you really care about your life, you realize like some stuff just not worth holding on to. It's just not. It's bigger and better things I have to just do in my life. It's just like that. So
Well, I think the thing about forgiveness, like eh, people have to realize is that like when you learn how to forgive, it's such a valuable thing to learn how to do because all humans are imperfect. So if you have trouble forgiving yourself, you're gonna have a tough life because you're always gonna fuck up. You're always gonna come short. There's gonna be, it won't, like, I'm not gonna say always, but there's gonna be times where you're not gonna do something the right way, or you may slip up. There's gonna be time where somebody's gonna do something that you don't like, or cross you, or you may have a conflict. So learning how to forgive is just gonna set you up for the longevity of your life because it's gonna have to be something that you'll have to constantly exercise throughout your entire life is the ability to be able to forgive yourself, and forgive others, which will allow you to continue to progress throughout life. So if if you're running into problems where you have issues forgiving others, or you have issues forgiving yourself, then that puts you in a position in your life where you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. There ain't no staying still, because the world continues to move. So if you staying still, then you dying. But yeah, I think, and I kind of wanted to answer the first prompt. Can you learn and project? I don't think so. And I think that there could be periods in a conversation where somebody can project. But I think that, when you're learning, you are in receiving mode. It is about inputs. What is being presented around me. When you're in projection mode, is all about outputs. You're just pushing out. And when the only thing that you're doing is talking about you, and you're centering yourself in the situation, then you can't really learn, because you're not paying attention to anybody but yourself.
Y'all sound like y'all want me to go all day or something, man. Okay, I think of something else. I'll go answer another one. This is everybody quiet today. Hold it real quick.
Hell, can I answer the question?
What you got?
Um, for that third one, it to me, it made me feel like they being deceitful about something, or they don't wanna they don't wanna like own up to what they did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, now you know. So like, now I'm mad at you for calling me out, and like, and now because I'm mad at you, I'm just gonna throw something crazy at you, and you got to eat it because I'm mad.
Yep. That is.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that one, because what I do in my full time career is, you know I'm in sales. I'm in high ticket sales. So a lot of conversations, and a lot of asking people questions. And I remember the other day, a lady, she wanted to get, I sell a real estate program, and she wanted to get in real estate. And I was asking her, like, what got you looking into it? And she's like, yeah, I'm looking to transition from a position. So I was kind of asking her about a little bit about what she does, and she was like, yeah, I'm starting this business. And I was like, how far have you gotten? And when I asked her that question, total, like, she gets upset. Well, what do you want to know about that? And what you'll find with those people is, because there's a um there's a misalignment with internally with people. So more than likely, it's business that she's boasting about. Or whenever I get people that will boast about where they're at, and then you start asking them questions. Okay, well, how many deals did you do last year? They start getting defensive, and you don't want to answer the questions. And they start getting like, "What you getting mad at me for?" you know, you came and presented it to me. You set up the call, and now that I'm asking you questions about something that you presented, that you put on a pedestal, now that the questions are getting tough, you'll find people start to get angry, or they try to turn it on you. Why are you asking them questions? And that's none of your business, you know. I mean, then, or the ones where they'll try to flip it on you and tell you that you're toxic, you know. But yeah, I think when it comes down to somebody getting angry, and obviously there's other situations too. I think sometimes there are some people who have just never been asked the very deep questions before, so they don't really know how to respond. So they default to just getting defensive. And I don't always think it's intentional for a lot of people. I think for most people it's just very most people have very low emotional intelligence. So most people just would default when they run into situations like that. It's like, and I'll land here. It's like when I call people and I set up a call with them, instead of them just messaging me and telling me that they're not interested, they'll just ghost me, right? They don't understand it. Like it's a bad, atomic habits. It's a bad habit to create. So now you're creating a habit where you engage in things, and instead of being honest and confronting the situation, you just cut ties with it. I guarantee you, if you were to look at those people's lives, I guarantee you they do that in a lot of other areas of their lives too. Um, so I kind of wanted to just touch on the Atomic Habits book because I've read that. I listened to the audiobook a couple times, and uh, that's why a lot of times when I come in these lives, I can tell how people exercise or how people operate in other areas of their life, how well they listen in here, how well they ask questions, um, how they phrase certain things. It tells you about their character, and it tells you about how they make decisions. And if you come into a box like this and you can't, uh, you know, most people are just coming to these boxes just to talk. They don't really listen. You can almost guarantee that they do that in other areas of their life as well.
Mm-hmm. You know it's gonna go south when you hear that too. Hush. Sorry. You know it's gonna go south when you see people like that, or them be more the self-centered people, but then the main ones that be going through the most pain on here too. They just disguise it. Um, with that third one, then since we talking about that, what's up, Eric? How you feeling, man? Uh, with that third one, so I think it's a few things. I know that one of the main two things is like when a person get angry when you question them. Some people they want to stay in like victim mentality mode first already for the most part, but also some people will live in denial. They live in denial, and when you question about it, they get uncomfortable or like you're not supposed to ask stuff like that. So they so used to getting by on not them hard, or would you say the hard questions, or to them might be hard. So they so used to deflecting so bad on their life that they get angry. Another one is that some people really don't stand firm on what they believe in, or might get caught off guard, like, dang, you know what, I never got questioned with that one. You know what I'm saying? So they rather get angry about it, or some people just don't want to. They feel like it's bruising their ego or some type of way or pride. So they rather not say that they don't know, or they rather not say because everybody just live with this lifestyle saying I know, but when they get challenged on I know, that's when they that's when they go off. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no way, and you're not gonna. So the thing is, I realize if you stand on what you stand on, you wouldn't get angry. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. So most of like I said, some of them feel getting challenged is that ego thing, and some of them live in denial. Some people want to stay in victim mode. Um, you know, and that's their favorite go to. If you ever noticed that, you ask another. That's what this one of the number one things. Not lately, nah. Woman say, I was in a domestic, especially with a woman. I was in a domestic violence. Well, what happened? What did you do? Why you asking me that? You trying to victim blame? Just go roll with it. This is basically what they want to do. Roll with it. Don't ask me no question of what part I played. He hit me and just know that he hit me. I had to learn the hard way on that one day, with some people close by with me and stuff. I told myself I'm never fight for a person again, man, until I know the full story. I'm not doing that again. The thing is, the people that want you to do that, people that anybody that just do that, just want you to fight for them. At the end of the day, they don't care about your life. They don't, because they care more about their situation, right? They care more about them and their feelings. And at the end of the day, if you lose your life over them, all they gonna do is replace you and say this thing called a hero. Oh, you was a hero, but then again, they get to live their life after you to sacrifice yourself, and they go back to making the same silly decision. You know what I'm saying? So I learned like I'm not doing that for nobody, low key. That's part of my peace, right? Because I told you I like peace and that's all I think I asked for with friends or a girl. You know what I'm saying? Friends, relationship. I ask for peace and understanding, and that really ties into one another because like I always say, like I remember I said it's my I don't like saying red flag, but I'm just saying like you never supposed to tell your stuff though. But I know I could find it out. The person put on a facade. I like that word that she used earlier. I could tell somebody putting a facade because you talk to a person long enough, Figured I'm just saying in general, friends, family, or friends, family, or significant other, right? In time, you gonna see what's hidden, you know. So one of them is like I said, when I learned like how everything will revolve around a piece, right? So I can't get with a person that don't know how to take accountability, friend, family, whoever. I can't be tight with them. I can't be with a person that's attention, that love attention so much, right? As in, like, they always gotta, they gotta be seen, they gotta be heard, or even just addicted to attention with themselves, right? Because, like, that can be, basically they like kind of uh, depending on, I don't know, like, I don't want to get it, but attention, that's another thing, a lover of attention. I feel like that's dangerous too. A lover of attention, a person, that don't know how to avoid confrontation, like, that's dang near my number one. That's one of my number ones, though. Family, friend, uh, significant other, don't you don't want to be around people like that too, because it's like, I know they call it, oh, that's a punk, that's that. Stop listening to these people nowadays. They put that in the air. They put that in society. And if you don't stand for something, you don't fall for. No, it's some stuff you got to make smart decisions. That's manipulation, and people falling for that. Like, dog, people be saying that. That's why so many people in the grave right now. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stand up for your, like I said, when it comes, like, it ain't always gonna go back to that loving and understanding yourself. You love yourself enough, you gonna realize that every situation is not meant to be dealt with, or you gonna realize that sometimes your life is important than there are other people. Other people, it's just like that. Or that's how I look at it. I'm not about to sacrifice myself for a person that ain't worth sacrificing for, or especially if they don't care about themselves. I'm not about to. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if a person don't know how to avoid confrontation, a person that's, the horoscopers, that's one of my, I can't deal with that. So friends, family, any of them, it's a wrap on that too. Even though I got people in my family like that, but I just know how to move around them. You know what I'm saying? That's AKA that they mean they don't take accountability. You can't say that you're a horoscoper and then say I'm accountable too, because that means that's a contradiction. That's a oxymoron, because basically you're saying that I'm this way because of that, and then also you're saying that um that's basically saying blame you. I'm saying what I'm saying. You can't blame and then say I'm accountable at the same time. So, what else? I had a few. Because all that stuff revolves around peace. Attention, looking for attention all the time. If they half dressing, looking for their chest out and stuff. I was walking, scrolling past a few lives, and I'm like, I could tell when a person their confidence is low, especially some of these women, man. Because I was looking like, dang, I seen one of them with her face makeup like crazy, and I realized, and I could tell, just like I could tell, in like, back to that facade word that she used, I could tell when somebody putting on a facade, or putting on the act or something like that, whatever. I only hardly use that word facade, but I usually notice it's tied to like an act, or faking it.
I just want to
Huh?
say that I love that you using that word, even though I put it in the comments. I love it. Keep using that word, Kev. Keep using it because you actually using it correctly. Keep
Huh?
pointing out the fallacies.
Say it again. You said I'm
Um,
using it what?
no, I said you're using it correctly, bro. Keep pointing
I
out their
felt weird because
fallacies.
that's why I said, that's why I reset it over. I was like, damn. I said, I usually, when I hear it be tied to that, I gotta look at. I still gotta look. That's why I'm glad ain't nobody challenged me on that. That's why I said I'm gonna recover myself when somebody say, "What do that mean?" I'm like, dang, I'm not ready yet. But I noticed that for the most part, when I hear that word, they usually be tied to like putting on the act or something like that. So that's when I. But I'd admit it. I would admit, like, I don't know. I'm just using the word because I'm using it. But and no, for the most part, I could tell that that was a while ago too. I could tell it was something. I'm like, man, you just trying to put this little fake smile on and, hey guys, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, though, I could just tell because I could see the pain, and it's weird. I could just see the pain in some people's face, no matter if they want to cover it up or not. I could just see it, and I kind of tested it too. I went in that room, I asked the question, and I seen the way they reacted to this just a question. It wasn't even a bad question or not. I forgot what I asked though, but the way they act to it, I'm like, I knew it. That makeup is not about to cover up your misery. I mean, sad to say, and I be right. I've been right. Like I said, the more you build yourself up, the more you start seeing other people. You could tell when people is miserable. You could tell when people is just putting on Facade. They got that. Yeah, but you could tell all that stuff, right? People like to voice things and don't really be it. So I seen that. I seen this other one that this other, and it's always I don't know. I keep running to the chick, but that's the one that be trying to have their voice out. I guess lately. One of them I seen this like the dark skinned girl and chest out, this chest sticking out. I'm like, what the heck? Is this the only way you know how to get your attention? Like I even seen this video game player. Only way you can get your attention. Let me put my chest out and grease it up real quick for you. I found that kind of funny. I had screen recorded that a while. I'm like, dang, this is what people getting up to. And you're like, dang, my mind ain't good enough. The way I can't talk. So let me get them in this way. Let me get them the easiest way. Let me use some of my powers. But that says a lot. That tell me about your confidence, right? And they even switched that around. They changed that around. That this confidence mean doing this. No, that's not. That show how less confident you are because you have to use your body to get your point across, and you still be sounding silly when you open your mouth. But people get blinded. That's why I'm glad that I'm glad I'll be trying to, control myself in that angle. You know what I'm saying? Because I can really hear how silly people sound when they open their mouth and stuff. Like, well, you might look good, but you sound like nah. I'm trying to be. I'm so scared because I got banana that one time. I'm trying to be so TikTok friendly, but
I mean,
but yeah, that it's real though. Like I'm telling you, the more you do healing and work within yourself, the more you see how other people is hurt. You can see it. Me and my boy BK talk about that all the time, and he understand that junk. Like literally. That's why people be like, "How you gonna tell me about me? Who are you?" I let people be mad. I let them be mad, but at the end of the day, you're still proving my point. You miserable. That's what it is. You hurt. You most definitely hurt. You know what I'm saying? When somebody I look at it, if somebody got to tiptoe around you or have to walk on eggshells, you hurt. Like nobody should have to limit what they say around you because unless it's just like I don't know this, but I'm just saying like it shouldn't have to be limited. Oh, I can't talk about this because this person might get no. I mean, nobody told Joe herself to get on this app. You know what I'm saying? Nobody told Joe herself to even be around me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the facade thing, man. The facade thing. But I said enough. So anybody got something before I go again? I'll go again too.
Kev, have you read the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius? That one kind of goes. So when you're talking about Atomic Habit, right?
Is that
If
an
y'all have
audiobook
not,
I can look up?
yeah, you can pull them up as audiobooks. If you want to
Well,
buy
text
the
that to me. Just text me. I ain't gonna remember that.
I'll text you a list of them real quick, but I wasn't sure if you read it, but I wanted to kind of drop some knowledge. So like, if you haven't read Atomic Habits, like pick that book up. I don't know what the hell you're doing in your life. Pick that up. Definitely pick up along with that if you can. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, and then also Letters of Stoic. Letters of Stoic will definitely have you living your best life. It's just all I'm saying in the best possible way. So definitely check that out. Kev, I'll text you a list of those books. And then if y'all want a list of those books, just message me, DM me or whatever, and then I can send you the titles and the authors.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure if you read it. It's a good one, bro. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm a DM. It's going down.
Look, okay. AJ's giving a green light for people to be sliding in my DMs. Only about this damn book, though. Don't slide in my DMs on no other bullshit.
They be like, hey,
Right now,
little head. I heard Kev call you little head. Hi.
hey,
Yeah,
AJ.
we gonna slide in your DMs, AJ. Okay.
I was like, slide in my DMs for these book titles. Don't be sliding in my DMs for nothing else. Like, we ain't going on no dates. I don't want to hear you say you love me after day 2 on a live. Like, nah, I don't want to hear it. I'm cool.
Hey, no, I love the way you sent that book to me.
They feel like, AJ, you gonna read to me? Like, can we do that?
Right.
Like,
Let me tuck myself in real quick.
DMs, I go. So funny. AJ, I love you. I swear I do. Oh my gosh, this is why I love AJ. Okay.
But AJ, I love you. Kelsey, not her. Oh, man. Kelsey funny.
We love you.
I love you.
I love y'all too. In the most,
sibling family kind of way.
Mhm.
I think y'all are all amazing, and we just gonna keep it there.
Amazing.
Like,
Amazing. Well, you
yeah,
got
Is it this time of amazing?
amazing,
That one?
amazing. You know what I mean? Because Candy Mountain. I remember the first time I started doing like random voices on Kev's live. He thought I had a soundboard for like the longest. He's like, "Bro, you got a soundboard?" I was like, "Nah, I don't. It's just me and my voice."
Wait, AJ, can you say a beautiful chocolate man for white chicks? Can you do that? You know,
Beautiful chocolate man.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
No, I know, Kev. I know you're not talking Mr. Submissive, sassy Stitch.
I knew you was gonna come with something, man. It was too quiet. Y'all doing too much voice changing. I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm about to be next.
No, let me tell y'all, the Stitch that Kev do is a G. The Stitch that Kev do is a gangster. The Stitch that Kev do will fight you. The Stitch that Kev will do might pull up on you and
Pull
be
up
about
on
that
it.
action. Stitch is
Boy,
not
short
love and
fused.
kind. Stitch
Not
got
the gun
feelings.
drop
Stitch got
buttons.
emotions. Okay. Stitch is sick of these whippersnappers in the world. Okay, Stitch is
Fact.
tired. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
Stitch married to the Muffin Man?
Bro got a short fuse. He tired of hearing all the BS. He got problem of his own. He like, no, I'm tired of hearing yours.
No, Stitch need a lot of therapy. Stitch needs some
He
love.
do.
Okay, he
And
hurt.
had to
He be
and had to
projecting a
be the
lot.
nerve to be a therapist.
Please
We'll
tell
have
me
a
all
couple
the
of
things
questions.
that are
Okay,
wrong
we
with
gotta
you.
show Stitch some love. He just oh, poor Stitch.
Oh, Stitch,
He's
man.
submissive though. Stitch be submissive though, but he's
Sometimes you could catch him on a good day though. He might give in, man. He not all the way mad evil. You know what I'm saying?
wait. Can
Find
you
him.
I do
grab Stitch
wanna.
and tell him to come to the live?
Yeah, I
I do
gotta
kind of
find him.
want to go into
Okay.
like why what like what I was talking about,
Want him
Kev.
to do that voice?
Oh my bad.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, Nate, sweetheart. Hey, girl. Kelsey says, I feel a gingerbread coming. Oh, God.
Not the gun drop buttons. Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. Yes, the Muffin Man.
Hey, Nate,
I have
what's
to do it
up?
somewhat quiet.
Muffin Man.
I gotta do it like somewhat quiet because like
Yeah,
everybody's
Kev, I don't
asleep.
know what you waiting on.
But
Ah.
I don't know why you waiting on Stitch. Like, just go ahead.
I
You know, you
knew.
always
I said
want
I
to be
get
about
too
that
close to
action.
voice changes. You try to.
Let me tell y'all something. I am so impressed whenever you do that Stitch voice because I never heard someone like do it as well as you. Like if something would happen to like the original Stitch, like you need to audition for that part. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or the meatball off of Aquitaine Hunger Force. They both
Oh,
sound the
you can do
same.
that voice too?
not
That's the
Meatwad.
same voice. That's literally the
Oh,
same voice.
yeah. Okay, yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
Meatball, okay, I can see it. I can see it. Okay.
It is. I had to. I was looking like, cause I was just hearing them. I'm like, no, they sounded. What the heck? And he the main one with that little soda. There's a soda, the fried that meatball
Yeah. Hunger Team Hunger Force, right? Is that
about
what
to crash.
Have a good
Hey,
night.
Kev, I wanted to say something about the
All right,
third
Jim.
one.
What you
Uh,
got? What you got?
I think too, man. I'll say this is what I appreciate about your platform is there are certain times that certain things I don't think I 100% see eye to eye on, but most things I do, and I understand where you're coming from most of the time. But I feel like that when you have these questions up, that there's not like um uh it's not like trying to be
I thought
deceptive
you
to
burped.
get
Call me back.
no. Yeah, it's just a slight pause. Not trying to be deceptive and trying to get an answer out of people. So I have been in
Yeah.
lives where I've called people out because yeah, they were asking questions and they were questioning the people, but they weren't questioning the people with the genuine desire to understand where they're coming from or understand the story. They're just trying to ask the questions to get the person to finally say something so that they can bash them. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Listen to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
triggered.
I
Yeah.
knew when you came in you won't shit. Like like that
Mm.
type of stuff. So you get a person to come in, you question them, having them feeling that like you're really there to hear them out. Only when then they share the stuff to you. Like I was in live of the day, they talking about the Diddy stuff. I had a lady that came in there and had never a woman. She had never had. She's never been a victim of SA or DV. And these women were coming after her. Oh, there ain't no way. So you got a healthy woman that's had healthy interactions with the black man, but they asking her questions, but they're not asking but they when they were asking her questions, they weren't questioning her to really, hear her story. They were trying to poke holes. Well, where are you from? Right? Oh, well, you from there. So that's why. You ain't never been to my area. Because if you would have been to my area, then your story would have been like unvalidating the story instead of just taking
Mm.
people's word. It's like, well, regardless of whether somebody's experience is the reality of things as a whole, it still is truth. That if somebody says, hey, like this is what I've experienced, this is the experience that I've had with these people, or this company, or whatever the case may be in relationships, like that experience is still valid. So that's where I have a trouble with is when and I feel like that's a lot of times when people are asking questions about people's situations, they're usually asking it to try to get an answer, to try to get the answer that they want. Like you
Mm-hmm.
ask a question and somebody don't give you, they say, no, you ain't answering the question. No, they are
Right.
answering the question. You just not you just not getting the answer that you want.
That's all it is.
You
Dealt with
know?
that earlier.
Oh, so you ain't so you just trying to be difficult. And they tell you, you just trying to be difficult.
Right.
It's like, no, man, I'm answering the question the way that I would answer, how I see it. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
leads into the second one is that a lot of people are incapable of putting themselves in somebody else's shoes.
Yep.
So it's like they have a narrative that they've written about
Selfish
relationship.
mentality.
Yeah, they have a narrative or a story that they have written on how it goes. So it's like when you tell them a story, like the black girl, she dates black men, she's all for black men. She comes in there and says that she's never experienced SA or DV. That does not align with their story because the story that they've written in their mind is that all women encounter it and
Mm-hmm.
all men are this. So when you get
Yep.
somebody that goes against your story, they got to try to question you to try to find a hole, or they'll just gaslight you and create a hole,
Yep.
or they catch,
I told you.
or they trigger you and get you yelling. Then they tell you that you was obnoxious anyways and kick you. It's. But I appreciate that about your platform, man. Is that I feel like that you do leave the questions pretty open, and you're never trying to like direct the conversation anywhere. Is whatever, however people feel, you let people express themselves. If they contradicting themselves or they're not taking accountability, that's always going to be something that needs to be addressed.
Facts.
Because even if your
Facts.
experience is true, you still have to take accountability for your decision making.
Yep.
Um, except for rare circumstances like where like you know uh you get completely taken advantage of, or you get held hostage, or you get kidnapped, or there are the exceptions. We all know that
And even
exceptions
that,
where.
right? Even with that, like, how long you gonna live with that story until you start living your regular life? I don't get it.
Right,
Mm.
exactly.
Oh, but that's
Oh,
that's the thing right now, right? It's easier to be a victim. It's profitable to be a victim. There's more sympathy involved. You get more serotonin. You get more likes. You get more traffic to your page when you constantly play victim. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting there saying that it's the right thing to do. It's like I understand why people stay in that mentality. At the end of the day, though, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself for something that's very short term. You know what I mean? These platforms aren't going to last forever, and this facade isn't going to last forever, right? People are going to be on to the next thing. So, that's just kind of what I noticed for the most part. But I also noticed, too, when it comes to people who not only get mad when you question them, they're also the same people that get mad when they use an example, but they only tell you half the example,
mm,
right? So it's like when people quote, like, for example, when people quote scripture and they only quote like part of it and not all of it,
Yeah,
crazy to me.
and skip the
Like,
whole context of what's being talked about. They just pick one line
you
they
can't
pick
instead
judge
one
of.
me.
that went with their narrative.
I don't believe in Bible, but you can't judge me.
That part, like,
Where you get
bruh,
that from, dude? If you don't believe in that,
that part. But then when you're like, okay, cool, so you say the whole thing. Well, why we gotta bring up the Bible? Like, you keep bringing shit up
you
and then you keep changing it. Like, I
you
don't
talking about
understand.
marriage, you talking about boyfriend, you talking about all this other stuff. No, we can't bring that up.
That part, my bro. We've been all over the place having this conversation, and now you getting mad, and it's like, bro, you are literally the definition of moving the goalpost, while you deflect on every question. But then the other thing too that God like did bring up that I do notice is when people do change the narrative, especially in here. It happens in here quite a bit. Where we could be having a conversation like right now, we've pretty much stayed on topic. You know what I mean? But then you'll have somebody come up and completely misunderstand a whole question and then route the conversation into a whole other thing. Ain't got nothing to do with the topic. So now I
Take your
gotta come
last
up
couple
with
words you said, and then make it about that.
that part. Just be
What
like, you
most
know
people
what,
would do
fam?
is most people would try to call him out or pull him back. Versus what I would do is I would ask him, I'd say, did you see the topic? He'd say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was like, what made you see the topic, but
That
then
part.
decide to take the conversation in that direction? It's a better addressing to the question. And I don't think it's my fault with people because asking skilled questions is a
Mm-hmm.
skill. It
True.
is a skill of asking a question in a way that gets people to think clearly about the situation versus yo man, you read the room, bro. Read the
Mm-hmm.
room. And now you're putting them in the defensive mode. Now you're not going to get them to respond to anything.
This is true. That's true.
And
I mean, I
you
know
never know. That dude may have been feeling a certain way, or he came in alive, and that's what was on his heart, or on his mind, and he may just tell you that.
that part. And that's like the thing, because it's like I try to tell people, I'm like, I'm really not an a-hole. You know what I mean? Because I know I do that a lot, not just in here, but like in a couple other lives where it's like we're having a good conversation and somebody derails the whole thing, right? And it's not that I'm doing that because I don't care about the interesting thing that you're talking about. It's there's a reason why we're on this topic because we're getting somewhere. Now you just
Mm-mm.
derailed the whole conversation, and now we have to start back at square one. Right, we were finally getting somewhere in the conversation, meaning everybody stopped saying the echo chamber shit. People were actually able to actually use their brains and start saying actual legitimate shit. And then you came in here and started talking about something fucking completely off the wall. Now we over there talking about something stupid. And I'm like, we could have just can we come back? Bring it back now. Um, but I'm just saying, I see that a lot. And then when you question people on stuff, they tend to get upset. But I don't know. I think that's just people not really knowing themselves, or maybe it's like
That's
I said,
exactly what that is.
facades. When you have a facade that you have to, it's kind of like the facade of adulthood, right? When you're younger, you have like this facade of like what being an adult is, right? Or at least I did, right? Like I was like, oh, adults are this. You got to be mature. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's all these like what you have to do, what you can't do, what you don't do, this, that, and the third. But if you don't really know who you are, you're always gonna have things define you, right? Instead of the other way around, where you define things, they're now defining you. So now you're, oh, well, I can't do this because I'm a Leo. Oh, no, I can't do this because I'm black. No, I can't do this because of this. Like all these things are now defining you, but you're not defining all
It's
those
about to
things.
shut down. Dang.
Why? What'd I do? What happened?
Oh, his live timed out again.
Oh,
I don't know why I keep doing it. What is there a word that causes it, or is it just TikTok? Like, what is that?
I don't know. I think somebody was saying like, I don't know if it has to do with the likes. I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just like the interaction is like not good.
I don't know. We've been tapping good today, even if we have a lot of people. I think we're doing all right.
Well, that's because we ain't yelling at each other.
Right. TikTok, like, are y'all sure y'all live? Let me.
We're not yelling at each other, and nobody's moving the goalposts to 1,000 places.
Yeah, that be getting on my nerves. I be like, why y'all come up here and then when somebody clock you on your agenda, you mad at us because we call out something that you just came up here and try to do. Like, we can hear you and see you. You said everyone talking anger. I'm so mad. No, you said something I don't like. report the live rate.
Oh no.
Nah, Kev, make that cam bigger. Nah, cause you know what? You be sitting up there
Bro, she
looking
would have
rough.
loved Kev like a year ago. When every time he got a haircut, he was like the whole damn box.
Leave me alone.
He got
He used
one
to make
That's a
fun
now.
of him a little
that's
bit.
a that's
Oh.
a
It
that's a
was
that's a
cute.
dream woman right there, Kev. But you would have bagged Mona Lisa back in the day.
Yep.
We gonna talk about Mona real quick.
He got a lineup right now.
Okay, they ain't feeling this projection. I got more topics though. Let's bring. There's some of these things I gotta bring back.
No, you need to project that camera on that big screen because you got a lineup and you sitting here in that little teeny box. I'm so
Okay,
offended
but
right
look. I have to take accountability for that. Okay, I take accountability
Oh, I
because we
want to
used
talk
to
about
make
this
fun
again.
of Kev.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And we used to
picture,
call him
bro.
out on that. And all I'm saying is that I wasn't ever making fun of him. I was just like, look at my bro out there with his little lineup right now.
now.
Like
No,
the only
looking
time I
all
gave him
good.
crap,
And he gonna sit
I'm
up
gonna
there
be
and be in a
honest.
small
Hold on,
box.
hold on. I'm just saying, I will take accountability. Okay, the only time that I probably clowned him was when he got his little lineup and he was wearing a tuxedo shirt. That was the only time. I was like, bruh,
You
I'm gonna need you to get it together. Other
No,
than
she
that,
talking about
he
this
was
other one. She
fine.
clowned me on. It was a fake tuxedo shirt.
Kev,
He had
what
a
are you
fake
doing?
tuxedo shirt. I was like, Kev, stop it, bro.
She said my little cousin got that.
I was like,
Kev,
Yeah, I'm
bro,
gonna talk about this though. Let me do a quick reset though. I want
why
to talk
are you
about
this
this.
small? Yo, you so
How you
small, dog.
doing?
I know. Do I need to get my fan?
that part, you
Hi.
better blow his head up. Kev, you better go find one of them topics where you only had like 2 questions. And then you can put yourself as a big old
Yes, please. Can
Oh
you do
my
that,
Yeah,
please?
gosh.
What are you
Kev, so
doing?
small. That's
This is not even right. Your words are bigger than your camera.
I
bruh.
told you
It's
today
not
I'm doing it.
working.
I'm making my body tiny.
No. See, you, Kev, don't do this to me. Okay, there you go. Thank you. That's what I'll get. See my. Okay.
But no, I'm just doing it
Look
for
at
a
my
quick
boy
second.
out
I'm
here
actually
with
I'm
his
gonna reset though. I do
lineup.
want to.
Look at my boy out here with his
Huh?
lineup, dog.
Yeah, I like this. That's what I like. Wait, let
Don't
me
be
see
over
some
there
good.
posing. Look at him
That's
posing
right.
real quick.
That's
I,
right. Let me see.
I like this all the time.
Well, everybody sing Kev gifts. Go ahead. Everybody.
That part. And then just imagine, look, hold on. Take a picture. And
Take
then
a
all you
pic.
gotta add is you ain't need coffee.
Coffee, you need me. You don't need coffee, you need me.
I love
That
it.
part.
And the hoodie. Look at this. Come on, y'all. Showing the neck tat. Okay.
Bro, I completely forgot
Yes.
about
Okay,
your
how
neck
about you,
tag.
Campbell, man? How about you, man?
It's
It's my.
11:38. Yeah, I'm in my
I
night.
want. I want to see somebody too. You know what I'm saying?
Um.
I'm just gonna mute. I'm gonna leave y'all too alone. I'm gonna
What happened? All right. But
Bro, you ain't gonna. It's gonna be like the time you said you was gonna reset and you were gone for like 20 minutes.
no. I'm thinking, should I
You've been
do it?
gone for like 20 minutes.
Bro, like it's hard, bro. I got like the ADHD, and then if you gone too long, I get distracted somewhere else, and I come back, and then my seat's gone.
This 2 hours? Okay, I can post it. Yeah, so I gotta make sure because I actually like this little section that was on here, so I gotta make sure I save this section.
I love
So
this.
yeah, we gonna come back. I'm trying to get some traffic up in here, so I'm gonna bring that other one up, the Smex one.
yeah, because you've been stuck at 11 for a little while now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying you've been stuck at 11, like
Yeah, right.
11.
And that's what happens sometimes. You gotta reset because I did that a few times. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, that's Smex one. Yeah, I gotta go back to that one again. We gonna get that one going again. Trying to get that traffic going. All right, give me 2 seconds, y'all. Y'all just look at do calculations in your calculator, and then you're gonna be able to say. All right, give me a second.